not do, and then I do what I do, and then people criticize me for not doing what I said I won't do. Welcome to the world of YouTube, where you can't be right. You can't possibly do it right because I don't feel you're doing it right. I'm giving you a thumbs down, and I'm unsubscribing from you, and I'm never listening to you again. And I kind of go, bye. I don't know. I'll talk to the other billion people that are out there that I'll try to attract to my channel. I'll try to attract them. 188 on the stock right now is where we're at. For the morning so far, we have already had 2,100 thumbs ups come into this channel already from you beautiful people. I thank you so much. If you can find it in your heart to give me a free thumbs up, that costs you nothing. Hit that thumbs up button and get this video into the attention of the analytics computers at YouTube so that they will recommend this channel to more people, and we'll grow the audience and just drown out the haters that hate this channel and do not want personal opinions aired on YouTube because they only want some of us to say what they want to hear, not what we think. And we have 185 thumbs downs on this show. I've been on the air for an hour? Already 185 that just have decided you're no good. 2,500 have come in saying, no, I'm prepared, and I'm more than happy to have Bruce speak his mind freely without fear, and I want to join that party with him. And so thank you, 2,600 of you who are doing this already. If you can hit that thumbs up, just nail it. Let's surge this number, 2,700 now. Just surge it up. We're almost at 200 haters, though. So as I talk, the haters are hating, the lovers are loving, and it's about a 14-to-1 ratio at this moment in time. So that's why I keep asking for thumbs ups. If we can push that number to a 20, 30, 40-to-1 ratio, it just shows YouTube and any casual viewer coming into this channel that, you know what, this channel is an okay place to hang out. I won't be attacked if I come here. I won't be hassled if I come here. I won't be judged, and I won't have to see pornographic references, and I won't have to see just ugly attacks against the host and anyone else. We were just having a terrible time with it, and the solution for us was we should do this. Anyone now who attacks us with commentary, the problem that they might have is because they've made a payment to YouTube to be a member of the channel, we report this kind of hate speech to YouTube and authorities. The authorities have a place to go back to find out the source of said comments. Where before, when this was an open channel and anyone could comment, we were getting the kind of commentary that you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. And we may have put a stop to it with this program. So again, thank you for coming in, folks, to this channel. I really appreciate it. Buying more on the dips. Bring me the dip for nachos. 185 on the stock. The low of the day on GameStop now has been 182.66. And I've been mentioning to some of you out there, put a buy order in around that 182 range and see if you can pick off some of the stock. If it has to drop down to the 180 level or so to be down 10%. They've got to take you out. If you've got a limit buy order in there, you've got to be filled for that stock to print 10% loss. It hasn't happened yet. We're at 186 right now, and the stock is off 7.3%, 7.4%. It's got to reach from 201. It's got to drop $20.17.5. So it's got to come down to that 181 level, 180 level to officially print 10% down during the day, which immediately puts the stock into a restricted short selling mode for the balance of the day today and all day Monday. 187.90, 187.60. So little waves have come in, little sell wave, little buy wave, little sell wave, little buy wave. It's not over. We'll see just how this plays out. The volume on GameStop so far in 13 minutes, 1.9 million shares. That is no volume to get excited about. This is not what we call panic sell volume at all. It's just volume coming in and the buyers backing off, going, "Hey, you want to give it to me cheaper? I'll take it off you." It's, right now, of course, 190 as I speak. It's bouncing back. But you want to give me this down to 180? I'll take it. Yeah, give me all you want. Sell to me. Sure. There's buyers at 181. I think 182, 181, 180. There's a bunch of buyers here. Daring daring the sellers to try to crap this market. Go ahead, come on, give us your best shot. We're buyers. We'll take all you got, which will exasperate a gamma squeeze, short squeeze scenario going forward. The more you folks can get this stuff at a bargain price and put it away, which you're doing, the bigger the upside eventually when this thing turns the other direction. And it could be violently higher, Not guaranteeing it, just saying it could be. And so there you go. Again, thank you, a bunch of you, for coming in here. Chris Sweeney, new member. Arnar Thonberg, thank you, Arnar, for becoming a member. Also to Katie. Katie, welcome. Nice to have you here. Very good to see the gals coming in here. I'm so pleased. Jen will be really happy. My Jennifer Aniston lookalike wife, she loves it that the gals are finding it a safe haven right here. Come on over here. Oasis, thank you, Oasis, buddy, for becoming a member. Fred, same with you. Thank you for becoming a member. And New Hope, thank you for coming in. New Hope Lives, thank you for joining the group. Evan, you're the best on YouTube, Bruce. I watch every morning. You always got the best picks. Great explaining what's going on. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I want to tell you something. I want to tell you a story. I have stories. I got a story. Hang on. Kevin Pratt, buddy, you're here, and I'm glad you made it. This is great. Thank you for joining us. So I got an email last night at the end of I think it was about 20 minutes before I went to bed. I discovered I had an email in my junk mail because I check my junk mail several times a day, and I get so many comments from so many of you that end up in my junk mail. I don't know why. It's just weird. But I get a lot of junk mail that's junk mail. All right. So anyway, I got this note, which I immediately put into my regular file because it's not junk mail. I want to tell you about it. Hang on. Chris Sweeney, keep up the good work here from Belfast. W8N to buy U.S. stocks, please complete a U.S. government form. Not sure what it is. It's a tax declaration form. If your country has a tax treaty with the United States, you shouldn't be subjected to taxation. If your country doesn't have a tax treaty with the United States and you're trying to buy and sell securities in the USA, you might be subject to taxation on dividends on that kind of income. So that's what that is. That's the standard form. Just fill it in, send it in, and between I think it's Ireland. Northern Ireland, I think you're okay. I think Northern Ireland, which is the UK and the USA, they have a very strong cooperative tax treaty, so you shouldn't be deducted at source there. I think that's what that means. Nothing to really concern yourself over. All right, so I got this junk mail last night, and I'm reading it, and I had to read it a second time, and I had to read it a third time, and then I had to decide, how do I respond to this? I don't know what to do. But this isn't the first time I've been getting this kind of email, but this one sounds really kind of interesting. Nothing. So in general, I'm not going to say who it is or anything like that, but I'll give you just kind of a general overview of what. But this isn't the first time I've been getting. By the way, 189.87 on GameStop. We got the 190, 191, now we're at 189. Will we drop $9 to 180? Will we get the 10% drop? Is this it now? Is this the wave that will do it, or is this just a little pause before we go higher? Stand by. We'll watch. Okay, so got an email, and it said the individual wrote saying, "I'd like to introduce myself to you. I'm so and so with this company. We're a company that we're a production company. We're a film production company, and we have made a deal with Netflix to produce documentary on GameStop. We're gonna talk about the GameStop story, and we've signed the deal, and we've got then a bunch of names came up. We have this producer, this director. We have people who have history with this project, So I'm reading on. There's some interesting names here, interesting projects. Some I know of, some I don't. Fine. So obviously they're trying to tell me we're the real deal. We're able to do this kind of a documentary. We're serious. It sounds to me like there's some dough here, some real dough behind this project. The movie that you've all been speculating about is what's happening. Andy's going, yes. Olivia's going, oh shoot. Oh my God, Bruce is going to be on Netflix. Holy crap, they know what's coming. Woohoo, this is wild. Bruce is a star. Congrats, Bruce. Mo Money and Trey got this call too. I figured they would. If it fell to $1, SSR activation would. We're 191, not yet. Bruce, the bagel blockbuster. Scorsese, De Niro, Pesci, Bruce. Make sure they're coming at it from the right angle, Bruce. There you go. Bullish on Bruce, Oscar. Get those bagels. How are they making a movie before it's all over? Bruce is going to be part of the documentary, rockumentary. Are you going to be in Spinal Tap? Spinal Tap 5? Loving this. Where are the bagels? Woohoo, Uncle Bruce the star. They better wait till it's over. Picked up another GameStop dip. It's the way. 191 right now. I love the Andrew, not the huge fan of Trey. Dude, please don't price yourself out of our gig, Uncle. Bruce on the image box. Can't wait to eat crayons while watching it from a banana tree. This is amazing. Congrats. Aaron, the channel would be the best channel. If there were live Uncle Trump, all the best Dr. Sell all the time. I hear them all the time. Bruce, is this real? I think you'd be great commentators in that documentary. I've just given you a sampling of the reaction of the folks who are here. Those of you who are watching, there are 7,300 of you. Not all of you can comment. So you probably see this yourself. So anyway, what can I say? Can GameStop or SEC Man recount or stockpile stock take of the stock? Surely this would flush out the issues of many. Bowfinger, this failure to deliver thing, this failure to deliver situation that we're watching and what will have a profound impact sooner or later on a whole bunch of stocks, including GameStop. That is my humble prediction. Just stick around. Bruce is finally going to meet the real Jennifer because he's got his Jen Aniston, and now he's going to meet the other one. Maybe she'll play his wife. I just bought Bruce's SPACs at a discount. I'm not putting all my eggs in one bagel, I'm spreading my bagels around. There you go. Hollywood is a scam. We will make our own endless bagels for life. Danny DeVito will play Bruce because Bruce is 4'8". Danny will be the perfect height for me because how short I am. You know how short I am. I mean, I'm short, don't you? Bruce is going to get the Oscar and the Golden Bagel. Oh, this is so good, Bruce. Way to go, buddy. GameStop level 2 book is full of selling orders. 100 each, every dime from 190 to 290. There you go. Every dime. There's stock available every dime. Well, it's 193 right now. So they bought up the stock to 193. I don't know. We'll see. Connor, I got some more limits at 182 for me. Lucky boy. You got some more. Yes, you bought some more. Pick it up. If you want some cheap stock, put in a 182.50 buy order and see if it comes to you. Put in at 182.51 or 182.53. Funny little numbers above round numbers. Right there is where you put your buy order in and just make them give it to you if they want to drop this by 10%. They haven't done it yet. It's only at 191.55. Don't know. Okay, so how did I respond to this inquiry? They wanted to talk to me, and obviously the others have been approached as well. And so I got the impression reading this thing,
we're Upstart, and that's the moon, and that's behind us. We're going to Mars. This is incredible. Wow, Upstart. I have to say, I mean, part of me is like, I want to get in on a nice Upstart dip now, but might have to wait a little bit. Might have to wait for them yields all of a sudden to run up to like 2 something percent. It is interesting how this Fed decision is really only hitting these financial stocks and SPACs. JP Morgan Wells. I mean, they're actually, honestly, JP Morgan and Wells taking it in stride here. I mean, 2.7%. Seriously, they don't care. And the banks already knew this was coming. Wait, that's not Bank of America. What's the Bank of America's BAC? Yeah. There we go. Yeah, same thing. 2.3%. Big deal. Look, you had a little bit of a sell-off, and then they're like, nah, okay, we kind of expected that to happen anyway. Bye. Being an intern in Hollywood sucks. Oh, yeah, that's probably even worse. Yeah, that sucks. Ugh. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It's all the discretionary people just get cut out, Express and FedEx. I can't even find my words today. FedEx trying to run here. Let's see. FedEx up 6.8% here. Nice. They had a little bit of a margin miss, but still, Williams Sonoma running as well. Wow, second day in a row. Really, really cool. Good for them. That's exciting. What else do we have here? Let's see. Tesla at 640. We are going to what I said. We're literally going to what I said. The 620. I gotta stop making these predictions. I found it here. Somebody asked me, are they gonna extend, the Fed, blah blah blah, and I go, they're just gonna let it expire, IMO. Wouldn't surprise me if they do it the last day of the month. They didn't do it the last day of the month. They weren't that mean. I mean, which does make sense that they weren't gonna be that mean, because that I feel like would just be mean. But especially when somebody in the comments the other day when we were watching Jerome Powell live, they're like, oh, Jerome Powell smirked when somebody asked him about the SLR as to whether he would extend it. I go, yeah, because he's going to let it expire. They knew that. Okay, hey, let's look at Fox Business for a second. I wonder what they're covering. Oh. I guess it must be business related. All right, whatever. What freaking ever. Oh dear. Okay, let's see. I'm pretty sure we've got, did we get Bloomberg up here? I'm pretty sure I got Bloomberg up. Yeah, here we go. How is it always stuck on a freaking ad?
Higher equal.
Maybe we just have to one day listen to it, and then we'll stop getting it. Bitcoin is costing Tesla. Tesla is decoupling with stocks it trended with for years. Now it's going down all by itself. It's because of Bitcoin. Happy healer for president.
25 minutes into the session,
okay.
0.4% on the S&P. The NASDAQ stable yield started to push out in the last 30 minutes too. Getting interesting.
Good.
More interesting than it was about 30 minutes ago. Time now for the training diary. What you need to be watching through the rest of today and into next week. President Biden's stimulus tour continuing with a visit to Georgia later in the day. Then looking ahead to next week, Fed Chair Jay Powell and Secretary Janet Yellen testifying before Congress on Tuesday, Wednesday. Big tech CEOs heading back to Capitol Hill potentially next week.
Oh, Tuesday will be fun.
Biden holding its first formal news conference and rounding out the week on Friday with U.S. personal income and spending numbers. Rounding out this week with a great lineup on Bloomberg Real Yield later. Francis Donald, Kathy Jones, Robert Tipp.
Supported financially by my generous viewers, but I have 7,400 of them here, and not all of them are members of this channel. So there are a lot of folks here who are watching for free, which is okay because that's what this is. It's a free telecast put on by yours truly. And the folks from the production are probably watching this channel as well from time to time, and I welcome them, and I hope they're learning a lot about this market. But you don't have to pay a lot to get this info, and that's okay. I am paid by YouTube, of course, for ad rates and for primetime members, yes, and then I get donations, yes. But I am paying a price to do what I do, and I do have a unique perspective on what's going on. Since last summer, when I first made the first videos about GameStop, way back when the stock was $450, $425, $475 a share. What do you call Bruce Lee pulling a radio flyer? Enter the wagon. Grimer, if you do book, please narrate the audiobook. Please narrate the audiobook. Oh, I guess I would have to, wouldn't I? I'd have to narrate the audiobook. But you know what? I have been approached by individuals, by corporations to write a book. Definitely. They said, if you build your following on your channel and you build a social media presence beyond that, and you do a book from your angle of this story as it all evolves and what have you, and you can definitely put your spin on it, because you can take the story from 2017 when you started your first channel, Traveling with Bruce, right up to here and through this story. It could make one heck of a book, but you don't have to get it published by a publisher. Although, if there's any publishers out there who would like to talk to me about a big fat advance, you're more than welcome to contact me. But they're saying to me, you could just do a book yourself. You could self-publish it, and you can launch it on various spots or through your own website. Up to you. I mean, you only print what you sell. You don't print 100,000 copies on spec and only sell 10,000 of them. You don't play that game. The publishers play that game. But, that could be an interesting thing you could do there. And I thought, that's right. Knowledge is power. And maybe it's time for those who seek knowledge to acknowledge the power. I'm kind of thinking, one of us is living the life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week here, and living and dying with his viewers on how this is going. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention this to you. I just came in last night. Now, a lot of you have confirmed what I suspected, that the other guys are talking about that too. Okay, great. I got it. GameStop at 288. Should I hold or sell off? Or should you buy more at a lower price and average down? You've got three choices, Natty. You've got three choices. You're going to have to make this decision all by yourself. You got to figure out what you want out of this stock. Are you here for a flip? Are you here for the corporate story? Or what are you here for? I know that, I try to be entertaining and all, but at the end of the day, you have to make your own investment decisions as to what you want to do. Excuse me. Where am I here? Thank you, everybody, for popping in. Next Prime, thank you for this donation. Is Norbert's Gamut worth it? I have no idea what that is. I don't even know what you're asking me. I don't know what that means. Big Boy Living, the real wolf of Wall Street, tweeted about AMC. What do you think about that? I didn't read the tweet. I don't follow the real guy of Wall Street. I have no idea. So I can't comment. I would be, me commenting would be like me telling the world what you thought your dinner was like last night. I have no idea what you thought your dinner was like last night. I don't know what you had. I don't know who you are. I don't even know your name. I don't know. So I can't comment on that. TSY has become a member of this channel. Thank you for joining us. Another member, and I'm so glad you're doing this, you guys. Love having
Fed's taper tantrum. This is when they first said that they were going to start reducing their bond purchases, and then this is when they were raising interest rates. So you could see like that worst case long run in the last decade was really, during these taper periods and rate increase periods was around 3%. These higher yields back here was really coming out of the recession. So personally, I'm going to ignore those for a moment. So really 3% was the high. During the more chill periods, the chill periods did trade around that 2.2 to 2.4%. Over here, we had a brief period in 2012 before the market started really heating up, where we were a little bit lower in that high 1.8 to 2 range. That's what we're going to see now. But I really think we're going to get to those lines we drew. Okay, so, and if we get there quickly, fine, great. We get there quickly. Like, for example, if I saw the 10-year go up to 2.2 in a matter of a few days, and the stock market sold off big because of that, to me, that would be buy time. It would be a big buy signal because I don't think we would skyrocket much past that. Obviously, I could be wrong. I'm some dude on YouTube I'm wearing a buy the dip hoodie with huge letters. Like, it's not even modest. Like, Lauren's like, oh, it should be like a little pocket, like a little logo. So it's not such a big statement. And I'm like, are you kidding me? No. Buy the dip has to be really big, okay? And then on the back, you got to put a big old rocket ship. I think this has the rocket ship on the back. I don't know. I can't see it. I gotta have like a mirror or whatever. Anyhow, I don't. So I'm pretty sure this one's got the big rocket ship on the back. Anyway, look at Upstart Run. You see Upstart Run. There you go. See Upstart? Go. That's it. That's all you gotta know. Now it's it's all-time highs. 124, 125. Honestly, I have to say, like, I like the acquisition with Prodigy, but somewhat this is starting to get a little rich here, okay? A little overbought, maybe a little too much hype here. So I cannot justify buying in at these prices, but hey, nothing's gonna stop it from continuing to run. We've seen what GameStop has done. Speaking of which, where's GameStop? Okay, it's not selling off as bad anymore. So it went down to 182, found some support. Now we're settling around that 190 level. It's still impressive with that 14% that we're seeing here as 14% is short. It's not bad. But yeah, definitely the SPAC sell-off is big today. Again, we've got the Tattooed Chef, Social Capital, Shift, Matterport, these guys selling off. Whoa, Tesla. It is. Oh, it's that's not good. Yeah, so every percent that Tesla is down, just think Kevin's down 100 grand. Yeah. Actually, no, more. No, is that right? No, yeah, 100. Yeah, 100. That's what it is. Yeah, so that's like 360 right there, gone. That's $1,000 a day. Oops, for a year. Don't think about it that way, though. Don't think about it that way. It's just a stock. It's just a number. That's not a big deal. In fact, you know what that calls for? It calls for a little bit of
Oh man, your boy Kevin just lost lots of money. Oh, but that's okay. Here we go. Come on, push it. Find the dip.
Wait. Can I mix these? I think I can mix these. Hold on, wait a second here.
Oh, but that's okay. Here we go.
No, I can't. That'd be cool if I could overlay them. I can't. I need to figure out. I need an app where I can overlay these, and we can actually. It's soon. We're gonna get discs. I'm gonna get a couple discs here, and we're gonna mix together. While the market does this nonsense. I mean, look at this, Fisker. Come on, man. How are we supposed to understand this market? This is why I'm saying, like, this kind of market is such a disaster for trading. Because, like, look, Fisker opens up 7%, sells off, then it's like, oh, it's recovering. Wrong. All-time lows or intraday lows. Pinterest was up 3% like 5 minutes ago. What is this? Bye. Etsy, it's got 3%. Okay. Upstart's still doing good. Who is this? What? Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. I got an update, and it was good for me. Not anything having to do with the market though. Okay, sorry, one second. Okay, sorry. Kevin, have a beer. Like, chill the F out. Down. Now, see, I can't even talk today. Anyway, GameStop is down 6%. Zom social, the SPACs are just getting wrecked. IPOE. Well, IPOE is a financial stock as well. So that maybe makes a little bit more sense. But yeah. Geez, interesting. Okay. Eyes and ears. Let's see what eyes and ears are doing. Okay, I gotta stop. Sorry. So wait, I thought it was eyes with the yeah, it is. Okay, eyes. Oh, look at that. Eyes is up 7.5%. So when eyes is up 7.5%, ears has to be up at least 2% too. This market is
dollars to get in 48 hours, 72 hours. $100 million of exposure of the company's plan, where some will be commentators and be opinionated and say, oh, I listened to them. They said this, they said that, and they said that. And they were very accurate, or not quite as accurate as I'd like them to be about their past, but I'll give them a pass. They're telling us this is where they are, and it sounds okay, they're maybe missing a few things, and this is what they think they're going to do. And that's where the differences might come out, where some commentators are going, I think these guys are crazy. I don't think they can do that. Or others are going to go, I didn't even know they were thinking of that. That's surprising. This kind of reaction, and others will just straight report it, and it'll be possibly $100 million of exposure to the media for this company. And you're thinking of selling it right now, $187.95? Are you nuts? Dustin, GameStop hits. I think I'm taking my wifey on a cruise with you. There you go. Lewis has become a member. Welcome, Lewis, to the show and to the channel. Thank you very much for becoming part of this. TSY, $50 donation. This is the GameStop squeeze able to be done next week after this witching day? Is that when it's going to happen? I'm not sure. I can't put my finger on that because there's a lot of factors that have to fall into place here between now and then. One, the survival of witching hour. Two, option expiry tonight. Three, the financial report. How will that be received, taken, reviewed? That in itself will get millions of dollars exposure. Then the conference call, which I'm not sure it's exactly the same day or the day after. Again, you guys will let me know. It's not Wednesday. I thought it was Tuesday. Anyway, we'll see. And so all of that will be interpreted. And then what happens? Does that make, for example, if the announcement comes out and it is positively received, well covered, and the company's storyline, what they want the world to know, is reported to the world the way the company would like it reported, except for a few rogues who might over promote or under promote the story, whatever the deal is. If that happens, is it possible that globally, between North American investors, South American, European, African, Asian, Oceania, all of the world's possible market players, that a 0.1% of all market participants want to buy 10 shares each of GameStop? What would happen to the stock? It'll go way higher because there couldn't possibly be enough stock available for possibly millions of buyers wanting 10 shares each. Just to kind of put it in perspective, there could be 30 million people that want 10 shares each the day after the story breaks. It could be. I doubt that every single person that owns the stock long is going to determine after this conference call and listening to Ryan Cohen and his team that they're all going to go all en masse, all unified. Oh, this is a bunch of crap I'm getting out. I don't think that's going to be the result of this presentation. I think it'll be kind of a George Costanza opposite situation. The question I've got, and I've always had, is when the world finds out, and when I say the world, the entire planet is not going, what's GameStop going to say? That's not what's going to happen. I'm talking about the world that we need to wonder about, which is the investment world. The folks who are not getting the story from the television business channels out there. They're not getting the story from major publications. They're not getting the story from any analyst on Wall Street. Not one of them is talking about what the company is going to talk about on probably Tuesday next week. None of them. Not one. And after the thing is over, it could be the same, that not one will talk about it because their overlords are short the stock. Their biggest clients are short the stock. 50 of the 50 very active trading hedge funds are short the stock, and the firms that handle their orders don't want to upset their clients, so they won't allow a very positive spin on the story, perhaps. But everybody else who's free to speak will speak. I'll be free to speak. I'm not in the camp of a hedge fund. I'm not employed by a hedge fund. I can give you my opinion, and so can any other YouTuber, and so can vloggers and bloggers everywhere who are not employed or influenced or dominated by these short sellers. And so what's going to happen? Will it require the power of 25 hedge funds with $1 billion each of buying power to break the back of these hedge funds with $25 billion of shorting power to stop this market? Is that what it's going to take? Actually, no. Not really. What could break the hedge funds over here is the general perception of the market, where the market goes, oh my God, this stock, this company is already so far down the road to going where they're wanting to go, that within 6 months from now, no brokerage firm can ignore the fact that GameStop will actually be classified by hedge funds, mutual funds, ETFs, pension funds. They're going to reclassify this company as an e-commerce retailer, not a brick and mortar company. So off the brick and mortar company charts and over to the e-commerce side of the company, and they will be valued as such. They will be now perceived as such going forward forevermore. And if only 0.1% of the market out there believes that GameStop will be valued at or more than Chewy on the open market in a market cap sense, Chewy being a $45 billion market cap company, right? It's fluctuating. It's 38, 40. GameStop right now at 200 a share is $14 billion market cap. 14 billion. GameStop at $90 a share, it's 13.3 billion. That's the market cap of GameStop right now. 13.3 billion. Chewy is at almost 40 billion on its value. I'm going to right now absolutely tell you the number because I don't want to guess here. Is it? Let's see if we get it this way. Chewy. There it is. Chewy is right now a market cap of 32 billion, 31.9 billion right now, $80 a share. This stock has been as high as 120 a share, so it has been as high as $45 billion in market cap. Okay, but even at 32 billion, it is more than double the market cap of GameStop. So if the market believes that GameStop will be worth at least as much as Chewy on a market cap basis, that would more than double the price of the shares. Over 400 would be an immediate number. If the market, however, believes that because Chewy once was at $45 billion value, that GameStop could reach that kind of a valuation, and I think it can be much more than that. But let's just say it's 45 billion. We got to triple this number. We got to go from 190 to 570 a share. If the market believes after the conference call and realizes, oh man, these guys are already 45, 55% on their way to doing this, the last step in the puzzle actually is just the dropping off of their stores, which they will do over the next 12 months in a systematic, coordinated way to bring capital in as they sell off bunches of stores to other operators out in other countries. That's how it'll go. Some will be closed outright and they'll walk away from the empty stores because the leases are up. That's natural. But they will sell various countries off to other retail operators. They do that, and the market perceives this future is coming really quickly. There's going to be people going, you know what? I know for a fact a year from now, this company is worth $45 billion. I know for a fact that's what it's going to be worth. That's $600 a share. It's 190. How many can I get? And if we see 10 million investors, 20 million investors over the next month that all begin to feel this, and they're all trying to get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 shares each. I mean, I'm not talking about hedge funds. I'm not talking about 10,000 share investors. I'm talking about average market players who are going to sell a little of this and a little of that. I'm going to buy 20 shares of this stuff. I'm going to sell some of this, some of that. I'm going to buy 100 shares of this stuff. They're going to nibble it up. There's this absolute nonstop wave of army ants coming at this these sellers, and they're just going to kill them. They're just going to eat them alive, one little snippet at a time. There will be no hedge funds that can stop this thing. None. Because as these shares get bought and don't get re-offered, because they're not day traders, these folks are going, I'm paying 190 and I'm not selling under 600 a share. Don't even talk to me about it. Those shares are off the market. And they're being picked up internationally, including domestically, just again and again and again. And there's 5, 10, 20 million shares a day just being picked up. This will have that debilitating effect on the sellers to the point where they got to turn around and start buying this stuff. And whether their master plan right now is to be holding long call contracts to shift the problem over to Chicago and have them have the problem, and Chicago is going, oh, no, you're not. You're not giving it to, we're shorting this stuff. We're going to drive it down to 150 so that you won't exercise my calls off me. And they're going to try to stand this off. All of this is undeclared shorting. This is all undeclared shorting that the SEC does not insist anyone declare. That's what's going on here. Although hedge funds have to declare the ownership of put contracts, they have to declare their ownership of call contracts. But the so-called real short situation of GameStop is not actually being disclosed. But the Wall Street Bets people figured it out. The Reddit people figured it out. My contemporaries have figured it out. I think I figured it out. We understand that, yeah, there are probably over 200 million shares of GameStop floating around out there in all kinds of formats, when in reality, only 70 million have ever been issued by the company itself. And we haven't talked about the big one, and that is, will the company actually issue stock from their treasury to raise cash? And at what price would this happen at? Because if the company is saying to Wall Street, we're willing to offer 30 million shares of stock to help alleviate the shortage, but not at 189.40, not a chance, baby. We're not talking about that. If Wall Street gets the impression that this company might issue stock at 500 or 600 a share for 30 million shares to help alleviate a big short problem, there will be buyers out there who will nibble this thing up right now and run that market to 500-600, and they'll deliver the price of the stock to where the company wants it to be. 30 million will come out of the treasury at $600 a share, and $18 billion lands in the bank account of GameStop cash. There's 100 million shares outstanding, 18 billion cash in the bank. The shares have a book value in cash, $180 a share. You can buy it right now for $189. Think about that. You can buy a stock right now for $189 a share that might have a book value of $180 in cash. What? How do they do that? How does that work? You can't do that. Well, Tesla did it. Tesla sold stock. Mind you, they did it in blocks all the way up to 4,500 a share. They sold stock $5 billion at a time. Into the treasury comes $5 billion and another $5 billion. They're building factories by writing checks that don't bounce. They don't have any debt. Their factories are being built with cash. GameStop hasn't raised a dime yet. There's still only 70 million out there. And they're not going to issue a single share right now. They're going to talk first about what their plans are. And now you, as existing shareholders, of course, and casual observers of this old man who doesn't know what he's talking about, are asking yourselves, is he right? Could he actually be onto something, that this company possibly could issue stock 3 months from now, 2 months from now, a year from now, a week from now, at an incredibly ridiculous price, so that the shares actually have a cash value of $180 a share, and it's trading at $189.95 right now? Is this guy for real? What does this guy smoke? What does this guy eat? What does he drink? Oh, you got to be kidding me. Well, anything is possible. The shares were $38.50 about 3.5 weeks ago. $38.50. It's going to 20. They were going back to 20. Every media outlet was convinced of that, and it didn't happen. And now here we are with all kinds of, I think, controlling factors all over this stock. All kinds of controlling factors all over the stock. It's being held right here in a chokehold at 189.52. And I'm putting out there for you that there are forces out there who want this stock to go lower, because they are carrying on their books some serious losses right now. But they're not realized losses until you buy it back. Until you close out your position, you haven't locked in your problem. So right now, it's a paper problem. It's a bookkeeping entry problem. But at the end of March is the end of the first quarter. And what did I talk about in the first hour of this show? I talked about how hedge funds and mutual funds and pension funds are going to report their first quarter results. And how many hedge funds lost their butts in January in this first quarter to only turn around and redouble their efforts to nail this GameStop a second time to try to get their money back. And they were looking really good at 38.50 about 3.5 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago Wednesday. That's 23 days ago. It looked really good until it didn't look good anymore. And the stock went to $91 on Wednesday, $150 on Thursday, and eventually $348 about 8 days ago. They were not looking good. They got it down to $190. They've been able to grind this thing back, but now here we are at $190. We're stuck here, and we've been around this 200 mark for 3 days now. 3 days. Why doesn't this stock go to $38.50 if there are billions of dollars of power to crush it? Why isn't it happening? You think maybe there are other forces at work here behind the scenes that aren't necessarily evident? I think there are. And a company is about to go public for the first time in a big way to talk to us about their financial results and their plans. I think I'll be around to hear that. I'm kind of looking forward to hearing it. Tin Studio Webull reports almost 10% of the 20 million users own GameStop. How many other brokers have that many? You know what? Even if no new investors come in, not a single new investor, the only investors that come in to buy this stock are the existing investors. And everyone that owns this stock now wants to buy 20% more, just 20% more. Well, you got to remember something. In reality, there are 70 million shares outstanding, right? But in real reality, there's 200 and something million shares actually outstanding. So you folks out there hold stock that someone may have shorted to you that isn't part of the 70 million. It's part of that other 100 million something more. So if there's 200 plus million out there and everyone who owns those 200 million wants to buy 20% more stock, that means 40 million more shares are going to be wanted to be bought, to be purchased, to be invested in. Where can that come from? It can only come from the existing 200 something million that are out there. But if there are brokerage firms out there going, we're not allowing any more short sales. We're not allowing declared short sales. We are going to limit our failure to deliver numbers because we've seen this massive wave of buying interest coming in here from all over the place. We cannot allow firms and clients to sell stock they don't have, which means the shorters who are owing the house stock are going to have to acquire stock as well. Well, you add that on to the 40 million. Now, every shareholder says, oh, I'm not selling any of my stock. I'm a diamond hand guy. That's not true. We know that. We have day traders. We have flippers. We have people out there who've got a bunch of this stock on margin and personal loans. And if they see 200 or 250 or 275 or 3.25 or 380 or 425, they're going to start selling off. And so there will be stock available as it goes up. And the higher it goes, there'll be more stock available. But there will not be enough stock available for the 40 million wanted by perhaps existing shareholders. I don't know how many tens of millions wanted by people who've never owned this stock before who now want in for the first time because they heard what the management is talking about. And the entities that are short the 100 plus million that are out there undeclared who need to cover. And this all compounds on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other. And we have a scenario here where this stock goes for one heck of a run in a violent way. Oh my gosh. Bruce, I love your channel. Bruce, people talk about GameStop hitting 200,000 a share. What would need to take place for that to occur? Could it just be a hype dream? Peggy Fleming is a member of this channel. Thank you, Peggy Fleming, for all of the gold medals you won. All the ice skating you've done. Or is Peggy Fleming still alive? The original, is she still around? Or is this another Peggy Fleming? But whoever it is, Peggy, welcome to the show. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here. Zvolt Horvath, thank you, Zvolt, for becoming a member as well. Another new member of this channel. They're coming in from around the world. Those of you who are here, I love you guys. Thank you, NSB, another new member. I appreciate these. Alman Amana, if a split occurs, say 2-to-1, are shorts then expect to cover double the shares they're short? Well, yeah. I mean, if you're short 1 million shares and the company splits 2-for-1, you're now short 2 million shares. Yeah, but everybody else has double the stock too. And the stock will trade at half the price tomorrow morning. So if they're 190 now, they're going to start trading at 95 tomorrow, but everybody's got double the stock. But yeah, if the stock goes from 95 back up to 190 on the speculation of the split, the shorter that was short 1 million at 190 is now short 2 million at 190 because that's after the split. Yeah, this is double the problem. Absolutely. The dollars become worse. The stock numbers are the stock numbers. It's how many dollars are you short? That's what really the problem is going to be for those who are short this stock if they do get caught on this thing. Brian Emery, thank you for becoming a member of this channel. Brian, I love you. Thank you for coming in here. That is the thing. There's this thing we keep talking about. What's the thing? What's the thing? Hugh Grant wants to know, what's the thing? Well, the thing is, there's this short problem. And the higher the stock goes, the short problem gets more expensive as a problem. But the lower the stock goes, it becomes less expensive as a problem. That's the other thing. There's a lot of things. So at 348.50 9 days ago, it was a bigger problem than at 188.82 right now. That's true. But what will happen if the stock does start to go? Will 348.50 be a stop zone? Will that be where it will go and will not go any higher? Or is it just going to blow past there to 450, 550, 600, 750? What, where, how, what, when? The higher it goes, the bigger the problem. The bigger the problem, the more shares that are needed. The more shares that are needed, the higher the stock goes. The bigger the problem is on a dollar level, it just keeps going. What would cause people to want to buy a stock? Well, good news, a new direction of the company, an announcement from management, a clarification from management to help the investing public realize you don't want to be selling this stuff. Are you kidding me? Duke, could it be the long whales? The long whales keep the price down the last few days to make sure that the maximum call put options are out of the money, then let the price pop after the earnings. There's all kinds of issues, but the problem is, or the reality is that if the hedge funds that are short are buying call options that they're going to exercise to cover their positions without having to chase the stock, especially this coming week with management talking, that now shifts the problem to Chicago. The guys who are naked call writers, now they got to buy the stock. They're the ones who are chasing it, and they're not as deft as these traders in New York. Perhaps they come in like with a blood, like a sledgehammer to just buy it. And yeah, this could be really something. We could be into a real wild move here. But again, I'm observing from this location, and I can't tell you what all these players are thinking. I can only tell you what I see and what I'm speculating. I can do the math. I can add up how many shares are out there. I mean, if there's 70 million out and we have a $13.3 billion market cap, that's one thing. But if there's triple that number of shares out, 210 million actually out there, that means that the market cap of this company is actually $45 billion right now. Does that sound familiar to you? A $45 billion market cap value of GameStop right now? Does that in any way that ring with any of you? I've heard that number before. Wasn't he talking about Chewy and how Chewy was at $45 billion market cap just a few weeks ago, and now this company is a 45 market cap, but actually they only have 70 million shares out. So the market cap is supposed to be 13.3 billion, but in reality, it could be that it's a 45 billion market cap right now because of the fact there's 210 million shares out there. Oh, well, you can't keep a stock position like that, can you? Not forever. Not if you have failure to deliver notices. Not if you've got naked call option writing. You've got to have a point in time where those folks who are short the stock have to get off the ride, don't you? Isn't that what the SEC is for? Isn't that their job? Dan, new member, thank you for being here. Jay, what would a new offering of stock by GameStop mean to the current situation? Thanks, Uncle Bruce. Well, like I said, 30 million offered. could go a long way to kind of help out with the short position that's out there. But I don't think it's in the company's best interest to be talking about issuing 30 million shares of their stock at $187 a share. That's really not in their best interest. It might be in their best interest to talk about offering stock at $600 a share for 30 million shares. Maybe that's in the company's best interest. Excuse me, folks. That might be in their best interest. And for the shareholders at large, it would be very much in their best interest. Thank you, all those of you who are acquiring this merchandise from my Redbubble store. There are fake Redbubble stores selling this stuff that are not me. Be careful. If you're helping me by buying this, please buy it from my Redbubble store. That's either Bruce Frommer, Stock Markets with Bruce, or Traveling with Bruce. That's the handle. Please keep an eye open. Who's selling this to you? We're trying to put a stop to that. But at the moment, there are fake sellers of my stuff. Really sad, isn't it? That just shows you what's happening out there. It's ugly. Anyway, yeah, what would happen if a whole bunch of people buy this stock up? And what would cause people to want to buy stock? Gee whiz, a conference call from the management. Maybe that could be the ticket. That's the ticket right there. We're at 187.52 on the stock right now. I have been telling you folks, if you want to get a dip on this thing, you might get lucky. If you put an order in this 182 ballpark, you might get some. Why? Because there are forces at work out here that, one, want the stock to go down no matter what. Two, there are some forces here would not mind if the shares dropped a 10% value today to this 180 range or so. That would lock in the restricted short restricted label on the stock for the balance of today and all day Monday. That means 180 a share or so needs to be hit. But at 182, they got to take you out. They got to give you stock at that discount price to get it down there. And if you get in the way, they gotta hit you first. And that means it costs whoever's dropping this market more money to drop this stock down. And it puts them in a bigger short squeeze position every time they sell stock to willing buyers who aren't going to flip it in 15 minutes. 4 million shares traded today. Not very heavy, but it is right now near the low of the day-ish. The lowest 182.66, 187.85 right now. It can drop $7-8 like that if enough stock came in. Except for those of you out there, if you want to get some cheap paper, try to buy it at 182.04 or 182.27. Put in some limit orders for whatever you want to get. Will it go lower? Maybe, but maybe not. It might reach 180 for like one trade and then go right to 195. Anything is possible with this GameStop stock. The volatility is unbelievable. But I can say that as each day has been going by, we have been getting closer to quadruple witching hour, which is today at the end of the day, and getting closer to the financial report for the year end and the conference call of management to indicate to the world what they're up to. I'm kind of excited. I'm rather looking forward to this. What will they say? I don't know. Oh man. Well, I have an idea. I think I have an idea. I think I do. Anyway, there you go, guys. Let's see what's happening. GameStop is an excellent tool for learning discipline, emotional control, and money management. This is trading university master level stuff. It's all about emotion, kids. It's all about perception of the markets. It's all about discipline of the holder, the buyer. It's all about the shakiness of the seller. It's everything. It's greed. It's greed. It's money. We're talking about money here. Nothing personal. It's just business. It's just like Godfather. It's just like it's nothing personal. It's just business. You know, your family is the Tartaglia. That's all. It's nothing personal. It's just you're a Tartaglia. That's all. That's all.
Leave the gun, take the bagel.
Leave the gun, take the bagel. What advice? Where are you going to get this from? You getting this from any other YouTube channels out there? I don't think so. Jen, how are you?
I'm good. I'm a little early. Is it bagel time?
I'm really hungry. I've been yapping here since the beginning of this
You have
show.
not.
I just talk and he talks. He just talks all the time. He doesn't ever shut up. The guy just doesn't. He never sits there and just does this. He doesn't. He never.
Never.
He's always talking. Hands are always moving. What is with this guy?
Eating.
And then he's eating on the air.
Swallowing.
Unforgivable. How can he do such a thing? Christopher, you can't lose money until you sell. A sale is not the same thing as potential value. Strengthen that gut because markets aren't for the weak-willed. That is right. That is correct.
Yeah, paper profits, paper losses.
That's right. Paper profits, paper losses. Trent, Bruce, if someone held a bagel to your head and said, pick one of the SPACs you listed as your favorite, which would it be? See? Putting a bagel to my head, you know? This is how rough this crowd has become. Ever since I've turned this channel into a member comments channel, they have become really nasty with these bagel comments. Averaging down, good or bad? Good. If you believe in the story, it's good. I love holding the SPAC because zero stress.
Your heels, what would you pick?
That's right. I love holding the SPAC because it's zero stress until the merger, and it's no way in the no worry position. That's true.
Are you hungry enough for egg or you want jelly?
Oh, I think egg today. Egg and cheese. Yeah. Oh, I'm hungry. Fantastic. Oh, Jen always has the best lines. Says Ultimus. Damn, Jen, that's the truth. They're saying. Good morning, Jen. Let's see here. That's that unforgivable. Get me a Dr. Pepper. Hey, Mrs. Jen. Bagel threats. Laugh out loud. Jen with the zingers all the time. All the time. What's the world coming to? Jen, clearly the brains and the beauty. Oh, I married up. I married up. Oh, yeah. If you're a guy, that's your job in life. Your mother will tell you that if she's honest with you guys. Your mother will tell you, you got to marry up. You got to marry brains. Marry beauty and brains, man. The rest takes care of itself. Beef, chumbone, you mess with Bruce, you get the beef. Mitchell, yay! Today's an egg and cheese day. Woohoo! Esmo, Jen bringing down empires with bagels, whipping stock indirectly. Egg and cheese, Swiss. It'll be cheddar. Don't forget the ketchup. Don't forget the ketchup, Jen. She won't forget. Hi, Jen from Sharon. Olivia, hey, Jen. Hi, everybody. She said, better be some Heinz ketchup on that plate. Oh yeah. There's Pittsburgh, PA ketchup on this plate. Mustard today, she's saying. Hey, how would you like some mustard today? Not with eggs. If someone holds a bagel to my head, they may lose a finger, says Derek. Observe thyself. Uncle Bruce, ask Netflix how they're going to portray the story. Retail investors, everything. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Bruce, what we want you to do is we want you to talk to us for hours on end for free. And then we're going to go away. We're going to write the script. We're going to shoot the show. We're going to produce it. We're going to publish it. We're going to put it out there. And you might or might not even be mentioned. And you might or might not get any promotion. And you might or may not be shown in a positive light. And you might or may not regret the day you were born when this show is on. But thanks for helping out, because we would really like to talk to you about this story, because apparently you're the guy. I'm kind of going, I've been kind of following it. I'm kind of in the middle of a lot of this social media thingy. I'm in it, yeah. But I kind of think that if you want to kind of hang out with me, wouldn't you think you'd want to like nail down the source in a way that I'm loyal to your entity and no one else will get the words, or I don't know. What are you offering me? I mean, really, what does this channel get out of it? How are my viewers going to be perceived? Are they going to be perceived as bloomin' idiots? 'Cause I'm not interested. I'm not interested in having my viewership viewed in a negative way, in a silly way. I won't condone it. So, hey, come to me with something real. I mean, really, yeah. But I don't know what any other social media people do. I have no idea. Everyone has to make up their own mind what they want, how they're going to do it, how they're going to, if at all, participate. Because as a lot of you are saying, the story isn't over. I agree. Damn it, Uncle, you're making me hungry here. Jen is the neighbor you never see in sitcoms, but has the witty jokes. Just bought more bagels on the dip here. Sarah's saying, I love you, Jen. We have the talker and a mystery lady, says Bill. Joshua, thoughts on retail investors holding 150% of the float? Yeah, those are good thoughts. I would like to see it go to 200%. I want the squeeze to be so relentless on anyone stupid enough to be betting against this stock that they will pay dearly, really dearly. That would be my happy thought of the day right there. Absolutely. Eric, we want a financial feminism newsletter from Jen. My wife and I would both subscribe. There you go. Yeah, you got her working. Love the family show. Whole making money. There you go. Get me a Dr. Bruce. Morning, Mrs. F. Papa Gamer is saying, Dr. Spooky Muffin. All the SPACs mentioned have huge potential. Do your due diligence and pick your favorites, or put a little in all six. That's what I always say too. SPACs, just buy a little of all of them. Just get all six of them. Just, $100 for each one, $300 for each one, $500 for each one, 100 shares for each one, whatever you can do. Designed for students. Haha. Dave, everything bagel, fried egg, cheese, ketchup, and tendies. GameStop special. P-Dub, love the family show while making money. Shane, fingers crossed Ryan Cohen recalls his shares. Would be great if I'd love to see a couple of things happen. First, they have the conference call. The financials come out. They have the conference call. The world media goes nuts. Then they announce shortly thereafter they're in talks with Wall Street to talk about issuing stock. Rumors abound. Stock goes nuts. The market's coming in to buy stock. Stock's going higher. And then they're talking about we might split it. The rumors start to come out that the company might split their shares. Oh, wow. Do this deal at $600 a share. Talk about a 10-for-1 split. $60 trading price after the split. Company's got $18 billion cash in the bank. It's worth $18 a share. Book value trading at 60, and watch it go to 100. There's $1,000 a share right there. Goes to 150, $1,500 a share right there. Oh man, everybody would go crazy, goofy, fun times. Jeremy, Bruce, I have 130 shares. You might have 1,300 at 230, 270 on GameStop. Should I hold? I just bought 30 more at 187 to lower my average. Oh, I think you should stick around a little bit. Yeah, Jeremy, I think you want to hang around here just a little bit. Shane's laughing. Yeah, I think you want to hang out for just a little while. No need to be hasty and make any rash decisions right now. I think right now you want to just kind of hang in there right now. Yeah, catch-up power. It's 192 right now. Is it taking off? Question. Bring Jen on camera. We'd love to meet her. Oh, I'm sure you would. I'll show you what Jen looks like. We were just out the other night at a fancy soiree. We got all dolled up, and Jen and I was showing her off. I was so proud. Look at this. Jen's looking like $1 million damn dollars. Doesn't she look great? We were having a good time here. We were on the red carpet here in Creston. I think Timmy's had a special deal going on, coffee and a donut, 20% off. We went out there, and oh man, I was loving this. And I thought, Jen, when you're eating your bagel, make sure that the crumbs don't fall down your front there, because they could go all the way down there. Be careful, honey. Just be on the, that's an awfully low cut dress you got on there. But I mean, am I a happy guy? Oh, look at me. I'm loving this. Jen's looking like $1 million dang dollars. Man, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. This is fantastic. Like I say, Jen and I, we're everywhere, man. We are the socialites of Creston. I mean, we are the ones, man. The paparazzi are out. The Creston paparazzi are out in full force when we're out there like that. I'll tell you right now, Anthony, Alice, down the bagel hole. Here we go. James, hey, Bruce, you keep referring to 70 million shares being issued by the company. How many shares aren't already owned by insiders and institutions? The real float is much smaller than that. Well, yes, it is. It is true. 20 million are held by the insiders. And then the pension funds and mutual funds and hedge funds and at least 130 million more. That's 150. Then the public owns probably 20 million. That's 170. And there's about 20 million shorted, declared. That's 190. Then there's a failure to deliver number, which we don't know. Is it 50, 70 million more? That's 240. We don't know how many shares Chicago has to pick up here that they're undeclared because they've written naked contract. That could be another 50 million. That's 300. So that could be 300 million shares out there right now at $190 share. That puts this company at a value of $570 billion, $57 billion, $57 billion market cap on GameStop when only 70 million shares actually exist for 13.3 billion. So the difference between 13.3 billion and 57 billion could be your profit on the stock in your pocket because you own stock out there and only 70 million really exist. So divide the rest into that. Where should the stock be? 600, 800 a share, 1,000 a share, kind of where it might have to be. That's where it might have to be. Uncle Bruce, aka Stockfather, he's the Stockfather. You make your money. You make your money when you buy. Matt, Bruce, do you think the entire market, like Tesla was GameStop was overshorted since March 2020? That could well be too. Yeah, Vance, get that damn bagel in here, stat.
There it is. Whoop.
Get that bagel in here, stat. There's the ketchup. There's the bagel. The egg. Jen's hands.
Now again, people, watch for the poppy seeds in the teeth.
Watch for the poppy seeds in the teeth. The stock might go higher because of that. Who knows? 191.14 on the stock. I don't know.
I heard you say something you should say again. You make your money when you buy.
You make your money when you buy. Famous words from Jen. Stock advice from Jen.
Pretty sure I wasn't the first one to say that.
I think that was a real estate term too. In real estate, you make your money when you buy. Yeah, definitely. Get the right property, the right location at the right price. Make your money when you buy. Vance, thank you for this donation. Get that damn bagel in your stat. I need money. Herring Moisture, new member. Thank you, Herring Moisture, for popping in here and joining us. Appreciate all this, you guys. Absolutely generous, so generous of you and wonderful of you to be here. As I'm trying to desperately keep up with these comments, they're new members are joining faster than I can read them off. We've got Dax is here. Thank you, Dax. We've got Kevin, new member. Thank you, Kevin. We've got Mike Swank also. Thanks, Mike. We've got another one here I thought I saw there. It just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Oh, no, we got a donation here from Tatiana. Thanks, Jen. Tatiana. Also, Jar Jars. 10 Dogecoin for who made that meme. Well done. Bagels ain't scared of witches or hedgies. There you go. We're not afraid. Thank you, Wizard Owl, with a $500 super sticker work for Jen to make an appearance. Not going to happen. Not going to do it. We've had much bigger donations than that. She doesn't come out of the bedroom. Yeah, you got problems, kids. Just not enough money. You guys don't have enough money to get Jen out. You don't. You just don't. You think you do, but you don't. So anyway, there you go. Thank you for being here. Thank you for following me. 190.89 on the GameStop right now. Getting ready to take my first bite. Having a zip. Thank you for picking up items on my Redbubble store. I know that these come in all day long. There was one here just a few minutes ago, and I haven't acknowledged it. There was another one a little earlier today. This is a really good one. Wow, we got a good order here. 2 of these mugs. One classic T-shirt with a TWB logo on it. Spiral notebook of Trump Traveling with Bruce. 8 of these mugs. 8 of these mugs were ordered, all from Europe. One order, all at one time. Wow, that is one of the biggest orders I've ever seen through my Redbubble store. Thank you so much, everybody out there, for helping me out. And their royalty is coming in here. There's another order that came in here a little earlier, and they're just coming. These Redbubble orders. Thank you guys so very much. Very, very, very generous of you. I'm just double checking on a few other things. Excellent. I just looked at my emails. We have right now 4,000 thumbs ups, 240 down. Thank you for the 4,000 thumbs ups, and please keep them coming, guys. We got to get to 4,800 to be at a 21 ratio against those thumbs downs. I thank you very much for that. Like I said, joining this channel means the world to Jen and I. We are just so grateful that you're in for the long haul. We really appreciate it. After GameStop moons and we sell our shares for $10 million each, we'll be one step closer to being afforded to see Jen. That's right. When those shares hit $10 million each, Jen will have had enough dollars come in to get all that surgery done she wants to do. No, that's not going to do that. Oh man, thank you, everybody. Fantastic. Dogecoin, Bruce, it's called pronounced Doge. Will we see 133 territory in GameStop? I don't know. We're 191. I don't know about that. Let's see. Jessica, thank you for becoming a member. I'm eating my bagel right now. I'm eating. We're going up. Let's get this stock going. Let's see. Can we move it? 191. Go GameStop. Let's go. Stuart. Thank you, Stuart. And Jessica, thank you for coming on board. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to meeting Jen on the moon. What do you got to say on oil, Bruce? What do you think on oil? I'm not a fan of oil. It's $60 a barrel. Not at these price. I think it's more like 40, 45. That's where I think it should be. Plenty of it out there. Oh, what can I say? Careful, Bruce. You could be in the doghouse all afternoon. Show me the money. I just got really hungry. Oh, yeah. 133 a share after a 10-for-1 stock split. I don't think there'll be very many upset shareholders at that deal with that price. That would be pretty good. Oh my. Thank you everybody for following me today. Great. See the cheese, it's melted with the egg here. Oh. And you put the ketchup on there. Oh man. Oh man, this is so good, man. This is man, oh man, oh man. Absolutely fantastic. Tell Jen we said hello. I do. She knows. She knows. She knows you're watching. She knows. She's seen it all. She's seen all the good people and all the bad people, and she's taking down names. Yeah. Bobby. Anything is possible, Bobby. At any time. I don't know. I'm just saying. Anything, anytime. I don't know. We're going up. That's the bottom line. We're going up. That's it. That's what's going to happen. 190.10 right now, 189.48. As I eat my bagel, it's going down. That's not right, is it? So I better keep eating my bagel, and it'll go up. Okay. If Jen isn't the hand model for your merch, that should become a thing. See? There we go. Bruce, she gave her the ketchup in a bowl so we can dip into the SSR magic number. There you go, 189. Maybe it will go down to 180 on this thing. She's checking names. Jen's checking it. Wow, that's nice. Jen makes a list. She's making a list. Hey, Bruce, beware of cholesterol. Jen should publish a bagel cookbook. A new show, Jammin' in Jellies with Jen. Jammin' and Jellies with Jen, right? With bagels, right? Don't Stop Believing Journey. Oh, good song. Good song. I can't believe how many more doll hairs I have since I've been watching you, Bruce. Thank you. I want to rock. I want to rock. 189.95. Come on, GameStop. You can do it. You can do it. Run, GameStop. Run. Is Jen Santa? Have you ever been to Powell River in BC? My friend just retired there. I love it there. Sunshine Coast. Nope. Have not been there. Not been there. Have you ever had any pets? If you still have any funny stories to tell about it, love your spontaneous stories. I once looked after a pet that my daughter had for a while. It was a cat. It was a cat. He had a real name, but we gave him a nickname. He was a male who had his business looked after. He was a softie. He was a real softie. And he loved cuddling and stuff. And he was very large. He was a big boy. He was a big guy, and he loved to eat. He was good at that, eating. And but when he went to the bathroom, he had a distinct way about him. So we gave him a nickname called Mr. Stinky. We gave him a nickname, Mr. Stinky, and it stuck. I mean, literally, it stuck. And so my daughter asked Jen and I, could we look after Mr. Stinky for her when she went to Berlin, Germany. She went to Berlin with her boyfriend at the time, and it was to be a 1 year thing, 1 year. And as much as we would miss the heck out of her, it turned out to be a blessing, because we went to Berlin 2 times, Jen and I, twice, to see her, once at Christmas, once in April. And then I was able to go to Berlin a 3rd time that following September to visit Berlin 3 times. So during the time that we were in Berlin, we had friends looking after Mr. Stinky. But we took care of this guy. And that was the only time we've had a cat in the house, or a pet in the house, but for Jen and I, for all the years we've been together. He was a tuxedo cat. He was black and white, tuxedo type cat, and he was great. I still have scars to show it, to prove it, that I have some scratch marks, but we had fun with him. But he was a scaredy cat. He was a very, very tentative cat. I think in his youth he was a stray, and then he became kind of domesticated with us. But he still had that terrified streak. Bad people out there. Yeah. Shout out from Berlin. To watch Uncle Bruce's best decision so far I've made. 3,000 waiting for the big dip. Come on, baby, give it to me. Bring it down. I'm buying. Now you have millions of pet apes. I have a lot of pets watching. That's true. That's true. And people send me photos on my Facebook group page for Stock Markets with Bruce. They send me photos of their cats watching their big TVs with me on the air. They're watching me. The cats are like, it's incredible. I just realized I was behind by a minute. Hi, Uncle Bruce, father of your 4 girls, is here. Mr. Stonky. How's it feel to be a global hero? No different than being an unknown YouTuber. Because when you're in a small town like I am, no one comes up to me and goes, "Hey, aren't you? You're that guy." I don't get that in this town. Mind you, I don't walk the streets of this town either. I'm here in my living room talking to you. So I'm working as hard as I am now as I was 3 years ago when I started traveling with Bruce. It's just that I have more success with this than I've ever had with that. But that's how it goes. And right now we're into a unique story that is global in nature, and it's exciting. And it is exciting. I admit. Woke up at 2:30 to watch Uncle Bruce. From Maui. From Maui, I'm watching him. YouTube famous. Global or local here. C. Bruce is a real hero. Bill Coin. Every time I waited for a dip, I always waited too long, and the price never went down. No, I just buy it. You got your buy price, just sit there. Just make them come to you. You're the boss. You have the money. You got the cash. Make them come to you. I don't know why I have to chase paper. Let paper chase you. You got the cash. $189. Jessica. Miss Jessica saying, my cat's watching you now. My cat is watching you now. Come on, Bruce, I want to rock. I'm in Scotland. It's 15:03 here. Sending love from London. Thank you, everybody in the UK, Europe, all over that. Man, you guys are great. I love you guys. Uncle Bruce, you missed my super chat. The pet talk distracted you. Robert D. Rose, thank you, Robert, for becoming a member. Love you. Love it. Thank you, buddy. Where was that comment? I don't see it. I may have lost it. Oh, no, here it is. Could the low GameStop trading volume mean share scarcity? Apes with diamond hands. Ooh, that's a possible. 5 million volume. 5 million. That's all. Okay. Roberto, thank you. Max, love from Toronto. Uncle Bruce question, do you have a favorite non-SPAC, over-the-counter, pink stock? Anything under $1 or penny? No, I don't. And I know that if I were to mention one on this show without believing in it, I could be labeled a promoter, because if I mention a stock that you should look at, even if I don't endorse it, I just mention it. A penny stock could be a profound impact on the stock. And I get emails all the time. People asking me, "Hey, what do you think of this company?" And it's like a 3-cent stock. Hoping, praying, wishing that I mention it. Because if it goes to 15, 20 cents, there are people up 5, 10 times their money. And that's, I mentioned the stock to you guys that you look at it, goes, oh, it's only 25 cents a share. Hey, I'll buy this at a quarter, not knowing that you're probably buying it from a promoter who's promoting me in, but that they bought in at 2 and 3 and 4 cents a share, and they're cashing out, and they have a one-way ticket out. They want to sell millions of shares and just get out. And if they could sell 1 million shares at 25 cents, it's $250,000. They pay 10 grand for it. They're laughing. What do they care about the company's future after that? They got their dough. They're out of here. I don't promote, and I don't talk about penny stock. I just don't. I'm not interested in that. But if I come up with a SPAC that has a Vendon coming in with a lot of upside potential, with hundreds of millions of dollars of cash in its bank account, that is a whole different ballgame. That I like to highlight companies like that, to give you folks a ground floor opportunity with a real momentum play right off the get-go. Once that thing is done, consummated, I'm quite comfortable talking about that. Baza, the Brewster is enjoying the grub and starving looking at, and I'm starving looking at you. Well, we're done the bagel, and we're 190.29. I kind of back where we started from. I think, Bruce, create a desktop figurine of you with a bagel. I want to rock on. I put I want to rock on it. Maybe I should get some bobbleheads made, Uncle Bruce bobbleheads. Maybe I should do that, and then I would personally autograph them for you, so they're really exclusive, $1,000 each. I can see the comments now. I can see comments coming in now. Oh, the haters are going to go, I see what he's doing. You see what he's doing. Oh, man. Sal, I haven't done any this week because of the mayhem. I've had a couple that I owed people from the week for, but I've kind of not done that this week. You can understand why. And I've really been concentrating on, I would really rather concentrate on this channel, becoming a sponsor, member, kind of a, growing this. So I don't have to do that because 3 weeks ago when we got really quiet, I mean, my numbers were just plummeting because we were very quiet. And I thought, well, I got a bunch of people watch me and I could do some shout outs. And, I keep getting these emails all the time that are coming into my junk mail and my regular mail from supposedly legitimate businesses that would like me to deal with them. They're all illegitimate. None of them are legit. They're all frauds. They're all robots. They're all attempts to glean information from me to, do whatever nasty business. And so I don't have a lot of confidence in being approached by legitimate entities. And so I thought, well, why don't I control the process by doing shout outs for small businesses and people with home businesses. And I might do that again, but at the moment, I feel I owe it to my viewers to, I'm concentrating on what I'm concentrating on right now and trying to stop the assault of hate that was coming here to this channel that it didn't deserve. Certainly not, none of my viewers deserve this. And I had to stop that absolute mayhem. And so I've just decided to leave the chat the way it is right now and visit with you folks and talk to you and, go from there. Bobbleheads. Yeah, I love this. Bank of America reaffirms $10 price target for GameStop. There you go. I'm sure that's what that is. Bruce, I love that you're always ebbing and flowing your strategy. I can't tell. I'm in VGAC and GHV. I hope it pays off. I think you're going to like the show. Bruce, can you explain stock splits and why that could be good for GameStop? I will keep doing that going forward, as I've been doing all day today and yesterday. Here we go. Bagel Toaster. Membership was the best plan. I think so too. I had a lot of people saying you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. No, just get moderators. They'll take care of those guys. And I thought, no. I wasn't going there. We had, I think, several thousand, and I mean several thousand trolls, bots, and haters coming in here with a free-for-all, attacking a single YouTuber trying to handle his channel. And it was absolutely unacceptable. And I was not going to subject 3 or 5 moderators to have to read this vile vitriol because then they would get attacked. As they were trying to block these messages, they would now get attacked. I'm not going to play that game. It's not going to happen. Not a chance. So, Bruce, you're well worth the $10 for entertainment value. Thank you, everybody. SPACs can go below 10 first major. Yes, they can. Any stock can go up and down anytime. But I got to ask myself, I'm asking myself, SPAC that had $300 million in the bank and they just vended in a $3 billion company and they just popped another $500 billion from Wall Street, got $800 million to pop this thing higher. What are the odds of this thing failing? What are the odds? I think they're lower. They're much lower than normal stocks out there, stocks that are trading out there now. And I thought, I think the first 3 to 6 months that these companies are public now, merged in, there's going to be a lot of news coming up, a lot of corporate news coming. And something tells me as the market gets the handle on what these guys are all about, there won't be enough stock available. Not around 10, 15, or $20 a share. Going to be much higher. I kind of like the odds of my followers picking it off really cheap like this. They're on this 10, 12 mark. Not a bad way to go. I know that the Gores is higher than that, but Gores isn't $30 a share. It's 15, 30. So there's deals here. But anyway, to each his own. Some of you love them, some of you don't. It's okay. We'll see what's going on. I said you shouldn't do membership. I was so wrong. Well, I did have the experience of having done a membership group already with my other channel. when it only had, gosh, did I even have, I think I had 30,000 subscribers at that point. There was 30,000 on TWB, because at that time when I created the membership club, you had to have 30,000 subs to be able to do it. Now you can, now if you are a new channel with 1,000 subs, you can have a membership club. But I had 30,000 and I launched it, and a very small number, but the folks who are in that club have really become, they're all friends with each other. Like the bonds are phenomenal. Some of these folks have met each other, where they compare notes. And when cruising was going on, some of them were saying, well, I'm going to take a cruise out of Bayonne, New Jersey, going to be in New York for a couple of days. And other sponsor members and other channel members would say, you're in New York? I'm in New York. We should get together. And so they would meet in Times Square, and they would then send photos of them meeting to me through my Facebook group page for Traveling with Bruce. And they would say stuff like, it's because of you we got to meet each other and become friends. And if that isn't emotional, I don't know what is. And it was just so overpowering when that was happening, because Jen and I have not yet met these people ourselves, but we're responsible for them meeting each other. And now some of them have met multiple times in various geographic areas. It's just been unbelievable. And so I had this warm, fuzzy feeling about the kind of family we have there that I want to bring here, because we're following investments, the markets, and what's going on here. And long term, there will be meet and greets. There will be sessions where Jen and I will be down to the U.S. We'll be in Canada, elsewhere. We will do meet and greets and organize, the chance where you guys can meet us and we can meet you. And I have no idea what the numbers are going to be, but I'm pretty darn excited about what they can be. So yeah, I'm really jacked up. And so I had no doubt about this. No doubt. There's a big rumor that hedge funds will drop big cash in the last hour tonight to hope to get people to panic sell the stock. My guess is they're going to try to get the stock to print at a low level. They're going to try to get it to print at a low level. Taylor Adam became a YouTube member. Thank you, Taylor, for coming in here and joining us. Mr. T, Brucey, I called GameStop Investor Relations today, told them I was getting nervous and considering selling. They said, please hold, and then the call dropped. Just hold. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'd be hanging on to this stock right now. I would be hanging on to this stock right for now. There's a lot going on here, and there's a lot of news coming out next week with that investor, that conference call from the insiders of the company, the senior management. Oh, I think we're going to learn a lot. And I think we're going to hear what we hear. I think we're going to like it. That's my guess. Thank you, everybody, for supporting this YouTuber by acquiring merchandise on my Redbubble store. The link is down below or up above here on my homepage. Thank you for making sure that if you do buy this merchandise, this logo, make sure if you're buying this logo, you're getting it from my store, not a fake store. There are fake Redbubble stores selling this or claiming to be me. They're not me. You've got to go to Bruce Ferromert. You got to go to Stock Markets with Bruce, Traveling with Bruce. You'll find these logos. You'll find all these other logos over here, and over here you'll find 35 other logos for Traveling with Bruce, Stock Markets with Bruce. You'll find a bunch of them, and then you're in the right place. You won't find anyone else's logos in my Redbubble store. You will not find another YouTuber's channel, or you're not going to find Superman stuff. I only offer licensed product that we've authorized through our store. And so be aware that there are fakes out there trying to scoop your money that you're actually intending to my benefit through the royalty of these items. They're trying to steal it from you, pretending to be me. So keep an eye open for that. Mark Lalonde, thank you, Mark, for being here, becoming a member of our channel. Quang Leong, thank you for becoming a member of this channel. Nice to have you here. Fantastic, you guys. You're joining up. You're finding us. You're figuring out how to join this channel. Love you guys. I'm very, very happy that you're here. Melissa and B and Baby Justice. Hey, Bruce, when you talk about SPACs, these companies you mentioned long-term buys or just 3 or 6 months after the merger? Could be both. They could be both. Some of you are looking for something short-term, and you're wondering, well, can I get in now? And then if the merger happens with a bunch of news and the stock goes to $30, $35, is it okay if I sell it? Well, you can do whatever you want anytime you want. And if you're happy with a triple, a double, a quad, or whatever you're getting, you take it. Some of you are determined to write options against the stock once they reach these levels or higher. Some of you are looking to hold for a long, long time. It's up to you. I'm just bringing out these deals that I like these merger announcements, and I like how well funded these companies are right off the bat. Really well funded, and I know that they are going to be. I pretty well know they're going to be extremely busy, media-wise, investor relations-wise. They're going to be really busy. Yeah, membership was a great move. Nabil, thank you, thank you for agreeing. Anyway, there you go. You know, when I do Jen and I are going to do a road trip together, and we're going to travel across Canada, the U.S. to do a road trip to do open houses or meet and greets. You know, you'll be invited in. You'll as sponsor members, you're going to be the first to know the schedule. As followers of this channel, you're going to be the first to see the schedule, and you can then, if you want, book your reservations to come and see us. There'll be certain places we go where there's capacity for so many people, and others will be larger, some will be smaller. It all depends. And so we might be sold out in one city and not the other. I don't know. So you'll be given first dibs to make your move because you're members. You'll get a private email, or I'll make a private video about the whole show and tell tour, the meet and greet tour. And then you've got a couple of days to decide, oh yeah, we should see him. He's going to be in New York. Oh, we're in that area. Oh, we'll catch him in New York, or he's going to be in Pittsburgh because Jen wants to see a Steeler game. They're going to be in Atlanta. They're going to be in Miami. There's a cruise and a meet and greet and another meet and greet after the cruise. And oh wow, yeah. So we'll put the word out. You guys will get advance warning that we're doing this. You can, because you're sponsor members, you can reserve your slots. Come and see us. And we'll talk about everything, and I'm really looking forward to it. Getting to see you in person. Should be a lot of fun. Hopefully we're through the pandemic and we're all healthy again. And oh man, I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, 10 minutes to go. I got 10 minutes to go before the show's over. Thank you all for being here today. 190 on the stock. That's where we're at. Down $11. Has not dropped the 10% amount. It is not. It's down 5%. But it didn't drop the other 5%. Not yet. Will it? Maybe. Maybe it won't. Before RB4RA became a member, thank you for joining in. Love this. Folks are coming in. Love having you. We now have 4,500 thumbs ups on this telecast, and I want to thank you all for this support of mine, for supporting me, and giving a shout out to Jen and supporting Jen. You like Jen, you like this channel, please hit the thumbs up button for us. If we can get the 5,500 thumbs ups, we would have a 20-to-1 ratio between lovers and haters, and that would be great. The higher the ratio, the better. 4,500 thumbs up so far. Please consider hitting that thumbs up button for me, and let's ride that thing right up to the top. That would be fabulous. I thank you all for just supporting this channel and this little old YouTuber. I appreciate it. Thank you, all of you becoming members, and all of you with your comments and your super chats. Absolutely fantastic, guys. I cannot. We just cannot thank you enough. We can't. We want to. 4,700 now on the thumbs up. Coming up right now. They're coming up. We're moving up to 5,000 thumbs ups. 6,150 of you are here right now. And if 1,000 of you can step in there and throw a thumbs up at this channel, out of the 6,100 of you, if 1,000 of you haven't done it and you can, please do it now. And let's run this total up, because when I ask for thumbs ups, I also get the thumbs downs. There are haters lying in wait to just hit this channel with hate messages and hate comments. And again, I appreciate all of you who are stepping in. 3 more purchases have been made of this product in the last 20 minutes. Unbelievable. Someone just picked up a a mug of this mug right over here, and someone grabbed a T-shirt with this logo on it. Fantastic. Someone grabbed a mug with this logo on it. Thank you guys for your support of this channel through my Redbubble store and not getting fooled by those thieves out there who are stepping in between you and me to try to convince you to buy my merchandise through their stores, and they're stealing our royalties. It's incredible. It's a sad story, but it's the reality of the world. And what can I tell you guys? There are knockoffs everywhere, even when it comes to stock markets with Bruce. There are knockoffs with stock market. Can you believe it? I could never have believed it myself that that would have been it. Matt, with the volume on GameStop so low, how many shares would need to come through on a buy to push it up $20 from these levels? Oh, if a buyer came in to buy 100,000 shares in a relative hurry, that would do it. 200,000 shares of buying over half an hour would run it $20-30 easy or more. Let's see, Melissa. Hey Bruce, when you talk about SPACs, we did this. Thank you again. Thank you. These comments and donations and memberships. Alan, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you to future GameStop millionaire III. Curious on your thoughts on Virtuix, private company doing seed investment round. They're releasing a home VR system, second half of March, virtual reality system in the second half of March. Yeah, I don't know, my friend. I don't know anything about these guys. A new company coming out with a lot of neat stuff. I get interested when they get closer to becoming public because that's when I can care. Because right now I can't care unless they're getting into a SPAC. Mark Lalonde, hi. Yesterday, as I was buying shares, I got a message saying there were not enough available at the time of purchase and the order would be fulfilled as they became available. Low supply, low volume. What is that? Mark, I can't understand that message at all. I don't know how a broker can tell you that there's no supply of stock when it's trading at the price you're trying to buy it at. I don't understand what that means. I can understand if you're putting in a limit buy order and you got some of the shares, but not enough came down to you. That I can understand. But the shares are trading at the price you're buying, you want to buy them at, or they're trading at a higher price than you're prepared, or lower price than you're prepared to buy at. Excuse me. They're trading below where you want to buy, and they're not getting filled. You got the wrong broker. You are at the wrong brokerage. So there's something seriously wrong there. In my day, there would have been a massive investigation by the SEC because a couple of clients report this to the Securities and Exchange Commission in Canada, and the regulators are down the throat of that broker so fast going, what are you doing? What is this we're talking about? But in today's world, all bets are off, I believe, evidently. Melvin, intern. Melvin, thanks for becoming a member of this channel. Nice to have you here, buddy. NA, you should be arrested pushing dead stock GameStop on these kids and then saying, but I don't know, the markets don't call me, and accepting donations. Someone doesn't like me. Someone is paying to not like me. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that what? Thank you, troll, for not liking me and paying to say it. That's amazing. I even get trolls to pay me money. It's incredible. David, Bruce, would you suggest selling VGAC, SBAC, and buy GameStop while it's down? I have 94 shares of VAGC. No, I wouldn't. I would say, look, you've got, if you're diversifying your portfolio and you've got a little this and a little that, and you're comfortable, you're comfortable. If you feel that if you don't think that the VGAC is any good, then you made a mistake. You made a mistake, but I don't think you've made a mistake buying that stock. Are you buying is it a mistake to buy GameStop? I don't think so either. But will it double today? How can I tell you that? How can anyone say that? Even my troll has to admit that's true. How can he do that? You have to do what you have to do in the way you have to do it. We all don't have enough money. We find we get ourselves into a position into a stock, and we find another stock and we wish we'd have more of. We don't have enough money. Welcome to the market 101. But being diversified is sometimes a good thing. But again, I'm not poo-pooing one stock over another. People think I am, by the way. People think I'm totally trying to divide everybody. Not true. Just dealing with realities here. Willem, first-class tickets to the Netherlands for Bruce and Jen for the World Tour when GameStop reaches $50,000 a share. Now we're talking. You see, there's something to hope and dream for. There you go. Thank you guys so very much. 2 minutes to go, and we're done today's early session. I will be back on this afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern time with 1 hour to go in the day. I'll be back here. If anything stupid happens in the meantime, like out of control, I'll just come on as quick as I can. But right now, look for me at 3 o'clock Eastern time today to wrap up the day's trades and the first hour of the aftermarket, so we can kind of review what happened today. 5,000 thumbs ups have come in now. Thank you so much for this, you guys. You've got me to 5,000 thumbs ups on this show with 296 down. That is beautiful. Keep those thumbs ups coming in, and let's ride this puppy as high as we can go. Thank you, all of you, very much. Again, thank you for all of these membership moves you're making. I appreciate that very much. Solidifying this channel and showing the market, showing the YouTube community that we'd rather be a member of this guy's channel than to have him suffer through the hate that he was suffering through last week. It is just unacceptable. I thank you all so much for this. Uncle Bruce is winning. Thank you. Enjoy the afternoon. The power suggestion is more powerful than most are aware. Later, man, I can finally go to the bathroom. I personally believe in diversifying. People are saying, thanks, Uncle Bruce. Thank you. 5.4 million volume. See you at 3, bud. I'll be back 3 o'clock, guys. We'll be here. Check out my video. I did a video last night. Check it out. We uploaded it last night, the opening from yesterday's show. Let me know what you think of that. What can I say? How many subscribers now? I have to take a look. We're getting up there. We're definitely going to keep this channel on the air. I'll tell you that. See you later, Bruce. Take care of yourself. Ape Together Strong. Do they have a VGAC or the VAGC? Laugh out loud. I'll diversify after GameStop moons. There you go. Going to take a nap. See you guys in a few hours. Bye, Bruce. Catch you later. Thanks, Bruce. Bye, Bruce. We are at volume now of $190 a share. Trading for the day now, 5.44 million. 5.44 at 190, 196 right now is where the stock is trading at. Guys, we will definitely see you shortly at 3 o'clock Eastern. Keep it going. I appreciate it. I was so mad seeing getting cyberbullied. I'm sorry, but we got your back, man. Bye. Tootsie Roll, $1 trillion squeeze. I don't know what that means. Bruce, I cannot find that sweatshirt you're wearing on Reddit. Help me, man. Help me. Find my store. And when you look at product, if you go to underneath the product, you'll see other merchandise Bruce is selling or other items, and you click there and you'll get a link to all the items. You'll see like a master bunch of photos. You'll see sweatshirts like this. There's about 5 or 6 different colors, like black and gray and this. That's how you should find it. You should be on my on my Redbubble page. Make sure you're on my Redbubble page and not somebody else's. See you later, Bruce. Thanks, Bruce. Fantastic, guys. Thank you so much, all of you. We're at 191.76 going to 192. Very, very good. I love it. Love it. Love it. We're going higher. We hope. Much higher, we hope. And to the moon and beyond. Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for all of that. The Redbubble is in the description below here or on yesterday's show. You'll find it. You'll find the Redbubble link. You'll find it on any of my videos underneath in the description. Just have to say where it says see more. You click on that, and then the description gets longer. And in there, you'll see my address, my email. You'll find my link to Redbubble, all kinds of stuff there. Thank you, everybody, for this. All right, I'm out of here. I got to go. I'll see you this afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern time. We'll watch the final hour together on the quadruple witching hour. Woo! Let's see what's happening. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.
All right, everyone, good morning. It's game time. GameStop. GameStop chart is right here. And this is the stock that I'll be watching today. Looks pretty clear that over 150 is would be a breakout spot for a squeeze back to 160 and then 170. So we're coming up, we've got about 10 minutes to 7 a.m. Still dark here, relatively. I'm gonna turn my lights on, but 7 a.m. is when more traders are gonna come online. Of course, that's when more brokers allow pre-market trading. So I'll be watching GameStop over 150, be watching it primarily after 7 a.m. Costs, this one, these two traded in tandem. Yesterday costs, so watching GameStop here. I think it's probably going to pull back before the break of 150, but let's just see what it does. So nope, I'm in 150. I bought, and I'm going to add at 155. So adding at 52 right there. Now looking for the squeeze up to 160. Adding at 53. Watch this now, up to 155. And then up to 160. So GameStop breaking out right here. This is critical. This is exactly what we wanted to see. Looking for an add on this over $155. That's beautiful. High of that candle is 154. So we're already seeing it starting to break out here, pre-market. I'm going to hold this and look for an add through 155. Watching. Adding there at 53.80. Back of mind target on this is a squeeze to 160. And then up over 160 to 170. This is a stock that we know has the potential to move fast. High of this current candle right there is 154. I'll hold through this pullback. Looking for the break over 155. 7 a.m. is when more traders are going to come online, so that's when we'll see more volume and the move up towards 160. That's what I'm expecting. Dip trades, I'll buy dips and then look to add on breakouts over 155. I'll go main screen like that. So the high of this candle here is 154. So new order is 156. There's a nice big bid right there, 12,000 shares, 52. 10-second chart showing us very clearly that 154 is the breakout spot. There's 54 on the ask. Looking for the add through 54 and then 55. So what we have right here is a 1 minute micro pullback. We'll let it form the pullback and then we'll catch that trade through 154. Dip trades, I'll buy. But this volume right there, that's the confirmation. The high volume on that breakout confirms that other traders are jumping into this. Looking for that move back up towards 160, 170. As a reminder, for those tuning in early, I'm going to do the morning show a little long today. For those of you guys that want to watch, GameStop is obviously a popular stock that I know a lot of people have been talking about. So I want to do a little bit of a longer morning show. I would love for you guys to hit the thumbs up. Those of you guys streaming on YouTube. Watch here, 154. This is a 1 minute micro pullback, so we're looking for the break of 154. There's 154 on the ask, there's 154.16. I want to see 155. There's 154.50. Let it break out over that level. The high of this candle is 54.50. So let's see if we get that break of 54.50. Over 154.50 could be a quick break, then the half dollar, 154.50, then 155. Watch here, the break of 154. High of that current candle is 54.50. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put an order here to add over 154.50 into that breakout. Below this pullback is 150. We still have about 6 minutes before traders who start at 7 a.m. come online. So that's where I'm waiting really for more volume to come in over at 7 a.m. Thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah, and we have costs here on the side. This one's also worth keeping an eye on. But GameStop is the primary stock. So I'm looking for the breakthrough 160 and then back to 170 and then that curl maybe back to 200, back of mine potential. We'll see how far we get. Five minutes to 7 a.m. for those just tuning in. So we'll look to buy dips on this. Accumulate on dip trades, then for the next breakout, the high of this candle is 154. 154.50. Cost moving a little bit higher. I don't know if I really want to trade that one right now, but maybe. I'll keep an eye on it. Maybe small size on costs. It just has lighter volume, only 600,000 shares. High on cost was 34.70. I'm going to hold through this 5 minute pullback right here. I'll look to add on a dip. High of that candle is 51. Looking for more volume to come in around 7 a.m. So with cost trading so closely to GameStop, I wouldn't expect if GameStop is pulling back that cost is going to pop up. First 1 minute candle to make a new high would be over 51. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. It's going to be another wild day here. Buckle up. I said I'd start streaming at 7 a.m. So lock and load. Here we go. 7 a.m. GameStop. Breaking out here, back over 150 during a 5 minute bull flag. I'm watching for the break back through 154, 155, and then a move up towards 160. At 7 a.m., in 2 minutes, we're going to see more volume increase. This has been the pattern on this stock. If we go back here, Go back a few days. Let's see. So I'll just show you here. So this has been the pattern. Volume increasing right around 7 a.m. There's that 7 a.m. mark. And then right here, 7 a.m., volume increasing. So that's what I'm looking for, the volume increase at 7 a.m. and then the squeeze through 154. So right now we're on this bull flag. I have my starter position and I'm looking to add on the first 5-minute candle to make a new high, which is going to be over 152.42. We have about 1 minute to 7 a.m. here. So we'll look for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. High of that candle's 52. Thank you guys who are tuning in. As a reminder, day trading is risky in case you didn't already know that. All right, so you shouldn't trade with real money till you've proven profitability in a simulator. Right there, 52, that's good. So watching for an ad right at 7 a.m. So watching here. Okay, so there's 7 a.m. and I'm adding right there 53. Now we're seeing volume coming in, looking for the surge through 54. Look at that volume. Watch this. So we're going to look for the break through 53, then 54, then 55. There's 52, there's 53, there's 55. Are we going to break higher? There's 55. I want to take a little off the table. Can I get the break at 55? Adding at 55 right there. Bought 2,000 shares at 55, looking for 56. So you've got 54.40 on the ask. Volume came in right at 7 a.m., just as I expected. Looking for the break through 155. There's 155. Needs to break through that level, 155. I'll add as it starts to thin out. Adding right there, 55. There's 56. There's 57. Next order, 160. Watching. The break of 160. Taking a little off the table here again. New order 160. Watching a dip trade. Adding long at 60 right there. Now looking for 65. Over 63 I'll add again. Once it starts to open up and move fast, I just keep adding into the squeeze, the short squeeze. The high is 62. Adding at 62. Now looking for 65. Scaling up here for a squeeze up to 165, 170. Sold some break even just to reduce my risk. So that 7 a.m. volume bar is what I was looking for. High is 62.95. There's 63. Can we get the break of 65? I'm going to stop the rest of this position at 60 and watch for an add over 65. High of that candle right now is 64.33. New orders at 165. Sold the rest of that, up about $56,000 on GameStop. Holding still a position here at 160. High of this current candle is 164. Low of this one is 159. Watching for a dip. The first proper 1 minute pullback will probably get bought up. Watching back over 164. Added right there for the break back over 164. Then looking for 65. Adding at 65 right there. Now looking for 67, 68. Nice. Adding there at 66. Looking for the squeeze up to $68, then 70. Watch over 67. For more volume to come in, there's 67, there's 68. I want to catch the break through that level. Up to $70. Sizing down on that trade. Risk was a little higher there. Now it's pulling back. I'm going to look for another dip. The high was 68. Costs moving higher as well. The high on that candle is 35. I'll keep an eye on costs. I'm going to watch GameStop. High on that candle was 68. So it's 704. I'm sitting up $70,000. $49,000 in my retirement account plus 21 over here. Cost is surging higher again. The thing on cost is that the volume is light and the spreads are big. I feel more comfortable trading GameStop. All right, so watching dips here for the next trade, 168 on GameStop. High of that candle is 167. It's extended. The risk is a false breakout. So smaller size on this trade because it's extended on the 5. But it may keep going even though it is extended. But I'm going to wait for it for a second. Watching. So that's a false breakout candle. It hit a new high and then dropped back down. You know, it's interesting because I actually have shares available to short. You can see right there, I actually could short this one. This is what the level 2 looks like. You're not supposed to broadcast real-time quotes, real-time level 2, because you have to pay the exchange for that. So if I broadcast this to everyone, I could be liable to pay exchange fees for everyone that's watching, which would be at the rate of I think it's about $100 or $114. If we have, how many viewers do we have? 2,700. So I don't want to pay that. So that's why I don't have the level 2, but you can see my P&L position up here. Watching on this dip. So this one is one that dips down. So where's a possible bounce for a dip trade? 154. 154 would be a totally logical bounce. We got a nice breakout there from 150 to 168. So now it's time to wait for the next trade. Waiting for the next place where I think there'll be an obvious setup. We got the volume at 7 a.m., which is exactly what I was expecting. I was in ahead of that, as you guys saw. I got in for the break of 150, held through that breakout. It did come back down on me, held through the full bull flag, and then we got the squeeze up to 168. I took some off the table early in the 60s because on that trade, I got in right here, and then I held through the pullback, and the low of that pullback was, it was only 49, but you know, I was down $2, $3 a share because I was in at 52. My average was 52. So once it came back up here, if you have a trade that is a winner, then turns into a loser. When it comes back to a winner, you usually want to start unwinding it because you're grateful it's not a loser anymore. So I started unwinding it a little sooner, right at that 7 a.m. kind of surge. And it was just right at 7 a.m. You know, right at 7, it popped to 55 and then it flashed down to 50. Then it broke. And so as it broke through there, I was happy to take some off the table. So this is where we sit right now. Costs, this is forming a 5-minute pattern. The high is 35.79. I'm watching costs I'm long costs for the break of 36 here because it's obviously moving fast. Target will be $40. This is a bigger, higher, faster moving stock. So, and with lighter volume, but over 37 would be my next add on costs. So I'm adding right there at 37, adding at 37.88. I'm gonna try to ride this momentum on costs up to $40. So watch this for the next ad, which would be over 37.35. There's 37.89, that's not too bad, 37.50. I'm holding 6,000 shares right now. Let's see on this micro pullback what it does. So 99% gain on costs. Sizing down a little bit, the high is 37.88, new order at 38. Kind of flashed back down after that breakout, which I don't love. So sides back down a little bit. The high of this candle is 88. I'm gonna leave an order at 38 for a dip. Added long there at 37.50 for the breakthrough 38. There's 38.50. I think on this one, smaller size is probably safer because the spreads are big. So the high of this current candle is 38.57. Adding at 38.57. Let's see, can we get that squeeze up to 40 bucks? High is, so there's 38 on the bid. My cost basis is 37.42. The 1 minute, that was a good 1 minute pullback, right? So this was the trade here, a 1 minute pullback, and we got a nice move there up to 38.88, but now coming back down a little bit. Still watching GameStop. These are the two that I'm focused on. These two trade in tandem. But yeah, the cost spreads are tricky. The next level would be back over 38.88, so I'll put my order at 39. 10,000 share on the ask, seller on the ask there, so sizing back down a little bit more. I could do a dip trade on it, but the 5 minutes extended. So I think the primary setup here would be that it just keeps squeezing because these stocks just seem to go crazy, but high is 38.88, so we'll watch back over 38.50 on this 1 minute pullback. So we got a nice 1 minute pullback there. I'm gonna look for another one right through here. If it breaks 38.88 right now, which it looks like it might, it's not really a proper pullback. There's a 10,000 share seller that just popped up at 80. But if that breaks, then we're looking at a move to 39. Watching. GameStop, currently on a 5 minute bull flag. So it pops up, sideways consolidation, very similar to what we had on the 1 minute right here on cost. This is a technical pattern. GameStop bounces right back up. That's good to see. Costs, adding long at 38.44. Looking for the break through the flat top at 38.88. Then through 40. There's 38, there's 39. Can we get the break at 39? Adding right there. Looking for that pop through $39. So we've got 39 on the ask. Can we break through that level? Let's see if we break through 39. A little dip and then a rip through 39 would be nice. Watching for dip trades on costs. And then the pop through 39. So watch right here. There you go. There's that pop through 39. That's what I wanted to see. But didn't hold super well. Sizing back down on it for a winner, but looks like maybe a false breakout. I don't know. The high of that candle is 39.27. It's going without me. I got chopped out. I was in a little too high, and that's the problem when you get in high. Sometimes, you know, you're in high, so you're like, I can't really afford to just hold this if it dips down on me, and then it goes anyways. So 39.45 is the next high day entry, but that, of course, will be back in at the highs. So over 1 million shares, 1.8 million on costs. GameStop, it's 7:13. We have 1 minute, it's about 7:14. We have 1 minute left on this current 5-minute candle. So dialing this in, the high is 63.50. That's the 1 minute candle. This is the context here. We double bought. We basically have run into the resistance. You can see it's kind of like this arm here and this arm here. We've run into the resistance of yesterday's close, which was right around 168. So that's the level that we certainly need to break. Costs continues higher, grinding higher. The high of this candle is 39.45, leaving an order at 39.50. GameStop dipping down a little bit, and that might hurt costs because if they trade in sympathy to each other, then if one starts to dip, you'd think the other would dip. Thank you guys tuning in on YouTube and Facebook. We're doing an early morning show here because GameStop ripped up 300% yesterday. Crazy, crazy momentum. Please hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. I'm hoping this will be the most popular GameStop video today. So I'm live streaming the GameStop price action here. I've already traded it pre-market. I'm not in any positions right now. I'm sitting and waiting for the next opportunity. So the early bird catches the worm. Now, funny enough, you know, I was thinking about getting up at 4 a.m. to see, you know, what kind of price action we'd have. So, you know what I did? I set my alarm on my phone. I set it for 3:50 a.m. 3:50, just like that. Is it coming in focus? There it is. 3:50. I was like, all right, I'll get up at 3:50. I slept with my laptop next to my bed. And I woke up at 2:30 and I had like a little bit of a headache and I was like, ugh. I looked at the clock. I was like, oh, it's 2:30. All right, go back to sleep. Went back to sleep. Rolled over again and looked at the time. My phone was off. My phone died. I didn't plug it. I didn't plug it in. I was shocked and I was like, oh my God. So I was like, you know what? That was like a divine intervention. Maybe I wasn't meant to trade at 4 a.m. So I plugged in my phone, charged back up. I checked the time, saw it was like 5:30 or whatever it was. And I looked at the price. I refreshed it on my web browser, and I saw it was at 140. And I was like, oh, 140. All right, well, I guess I'll go back to bed. So I went back to sleep. If I had seen that the price was like 180, 190, right under 200, I would have hopped out of bed. But at 140, I knew that had pulled back a little bit off the 200 high, so I was like, I'm gonna wait for it. Let's, you know, I don't know. So I set my alarm then at 6:30, and jumped out of bed, came over here, excited like Christmas morning, knowing that we were gonna have some big action today, and sat down, started trading at like 6:45, 6:50, and that's when I started the broadcast. So. Yeah. So as it turns out, pre-market, which is what I expected, the volume would be very light. But, the volume right at 4 a.m., I mean, it wasn't nothing, but it just looks like right at that moment, what I probably would have been looking for is a dip and a rip, and it opened at 153, so down 10 points. Then it pops up to 167, which was the close, basically 168. Then it drops down and kind of sells off down to 132. But I'm sure the spreads were huge. It would have been on light volume. And so if you don't get a spike right there at 4 a.m., then your next best shot is really kind of coming into 7 a.m. So what happens at 7 a.m.? That's when most retail brokers come online. Most retail traders can't trade before 7 a.m. Now, you guys see the software I'm using. I trade with Lightspeed, and they allow trading at 4 a.m. So I can trade from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. But yeah, so right here, this is actually a spot. I'm going to do a dip trade on this here at 54. The reason I'm going to do a dip trade is because this is bouncing off the previous resistance, which was right here. And so I'm expecting after that kind of strong flush that we will get a bounce. That's a strong bounce. I'm looking for the first candle to go green. The first 1 minute candle. We do still have a little room to the volume weight average price, which is 150. And I could hold it down to 150 and add off that level. So I'm going to put another order around 150. And then I can add and look for that pop back up over 154. So we've got 153 right now, but looking for the first 1 minute candle to make a new high, which would be over 154.73. All right, so there's 155. Let's see if it bases out a little bit more over 155. So taking a little off the table for $1 a share, and then it flashes back down. Yeah. I only bought 1,000 shares on this one. 154 on the ask. It's coming a little lower. I don't like how big that red candle is on the 5. I thought it would bounce off 154, which was this previous level, so I kind of got in right as it was hitting it. And it hasn't really bounced that much off of it, but let's see what it does. High there was 155.08. So scanners are running right here. These are scanners that Warrior Pro students get. Top gappers. So I'll take a look at some of the gappers. But, you know, it's one of these things that on a day like today, all eyes are kind of on GameStop, and then COS is a sympathy name. BlackBerry and AMC, I'm not as interested in. You see the same volume spike that happened right at 7 a.m. COS actually was a nice one. I didn't get as much on that as maybe I could have. CCIV. Yeah, I mean, I see it popping up, but I don't like the daily chart on that. So still holding that small position now. I'll just kind of keep a little skin in the game. So GameStop gapping up 69%, CKT, a bit of a gap there as well. LOTZ, I see it. So for those streaming on YouTube and Facebook, one of the nice things about being a member of Warrior Trading, you get access to my scanners here. So these are all scanners that I've built out to look for stocks that meet my criteria for having, you know, potential to be good momentum trades. So you have access to my scanners, you have access to a private chat room, which is just for our students. And of course you have access to all of our classes. You have access to my live trading archives, and I can give you a link. I'll just show you a video here. Let's see, where's a good one? So that's the main advantage of being a member. Certainly on YouTube, when I do the morning show, you get to watch over my shoulder, you get to learn a little bit, but you don't get all the strategy that's broken down in the classes. The classes right now are 35 chapters, and I would say since I started teaching it in January, I've probably been teaching an average of 3 hours a day for 5-6 weeks now. So yeah, it's in terms of the amount of content, I would say it's in excess of 100 hours at this point, which is what you want if you really want to learn something. You know, a 90-minute long DVD it's like reading a pamphlet on skydiving, and you go jump out of a plane, and it's not the way to do it. So yeah, so here's one. This was a live trading archive. Just while we wait on GameStop. GameStop's consolidating a little bit, so just kind of waiting on that. COS is consolidating because GameStop's consolidating. So this was the day that I traded GameStop after hours. Look at this squeeze from 150 to 188. So I'm in at 169.88 on this one. And this is what I do every day. I just keep trading. Some days are better than others. Today's already a fantastic day. Some days are slower. GameStop has been a big driver of momentum. So active momentum traders, which is not just retail traders, it's institutional traders as well. We look to buy high and sell higher. I saw one institutional firm, a hedge fund that made over $750 million on GameStop. So this is this video of it going up here. Just it's incredible. It pulls back. It does a pullback. So this is kind of that bull flag formation. I'm still holding this GameStop position here, small size. It's down at 147. So we get this sort of consolidation. Then we look for that first 1 minute candle to make a new high. We look for that curl back up. So we're at 179 here in this video. This was from a couple weeks ago. And now look at this confirmation. Now all of a sudden, look at this candle as it breaks 180. Watch this. So it's going to break $180. Watching the break of 180. Look at this break. 20,000 shares immediately to 185. Immediately. I mean, that's like that's an awesome trade. It continues higher. Now we're looking at the first 5 minute candle to make a new high. And then we get the break over 200. You can look at the break at 200 as well. So Warrior Pro students have access to these live trading archives, so you can go back and rewatch it. And we actually did it's like a 2-hour-long case study video specifically on GameStop and all of the examples and trades I had taken on it. So this is pulled back here. So this is our real-time chart. The low was 141. We broke back below the volume weight average price. Don't love seeing that. So we did retreat from 150, from 168 back down to 150. Right now, I'm just kind of watching it. I've already made my money on it. I'm holding a 50 share position just to keep a little skin in the game so I can keep watching it, but it keeps me a little more focused when I still have a position. So the low there is 41. You know, I could get it, maybe a double bottom trade off of 41, but it's below volume weight average price. So let's just see what it does for maybe a double bottom trade. There's a 5,000 share buyer there, 41. So I'm going to do a dip trade at 42. So I bought the dip right there at 42. I'm looking for this double bottom. So on the chart, you can see right here, double bottom at 41. So now I want to see it back up through 45, 46. So there's 43.50. Let's see if we get the break back through 45. There's 43 on the ask, 42.70. And I'm going to hit the bid on it, lose 800 bucks. It's a dip trade. Can always come back to it, but the break through 41, I don't want to hold through that. So if it's going to bounce on a double bottom, it's got to bounce pretty quickly. So I'm curious for those of you guys on different trading platforms who has restriction on GME, who's able to trade it. Give me a little update. I'm gonna turn on my light here. I'm trying to get the light switch with this thingy. There we go. Webull is good. Fidelity is good to go. Trade 0, cash only. TD Ameritrade can trade it. No restriction on TD. Great. So I'm restricted to cash only. I can't use my leverage on it. This says 100%. If I do like General Motors, you can see I only have to put up 25% cash, which means I have 4 times leverage on something like General Motors. Take the E off GME and you got General Motors. Add an E and you got GameStop. So GameStop, I have to use only my cash balance, but that's fine. I have enough cash in my account to trade it, so it's not a big deal. And in fact, at $142 a share, this is, I mean, it uses a fair amount of buying power, but it's not as bad as it was when it was at 400, 500, or higher 400s. I would remind you guys, one of the risks and one of the concerns that I've had is the possibility of the New York Stock Exchange halting trading, not on circuit breaker, but actually requesting news from the company. That hasn't happened so far, knock on wood. So, if it hasn't happened yet, I don't know is it going to happen now? If it didn't happen after hours in that big move, well, now we're kind of coming back in, so I don't know really why they'd halt it here. But it is a concern. And the risk there is that if the exchange halts the stock, then we're not talking about, losing like 10 cents a share. We're talking about potentially losing a really significant amount of money. So these are from classes. So we're up to slide 1,343. But let's go back here. Let's see, where do we have it? I'm looking for a specific spot. We just talked about it. What's the dip trade? I'm trying to remember. We were just talking about this in class the other day. I don't remember what section it was, but I had a few examples of no news trades. Recent IPO breakout. Blue sky. Okay, so here you go. So this is a stock BDR. Squeezes up on no news from $1.40 to $3. The exchange halts trading in it, asks the company to provide information. They say there's no news to account for this move. It drops hard. Same thing on this company, drops hard. So this is something that is a risk when trading a stock that basically has no news. RHE dropped from 10 all the way down to 5, 50% haircut. So you lose 50%. That's really painful, and it's happened to me before. So, it has not happened. And again, this is just to reiterate. This is the Warrior Pro curriculum here. So let's see. Let me go up to it right here. So this is our current curriculum for Warrior Pro students, for those that are curious. But yeah, I know the CFO, that was the change up. But the thing is, so here's the thing. Some of these stocks have had a headline like that. There's a headline, and the exchange still halts it because the headline, I guess in the opinion of the exchange, doesn't justify a 400% move or whatever the case is. So that's where we're not totally out of the woods. Usually a CFO resigning is not a good sign, but in this case, it indicates, this is all speculation, but the sort of, the possible change in direction of the company that people are hoping for, with Ryan Cohen being on the board, and of course, this was probably a decision by the board. There could have been criticism maybe of the company not raising capital, not doing a secondary offering during the big squeeze. Although I think that if they had done that, they would have been betraying all of the retail investors who bought the stock and are holding the stock and who are also their customers. So I think that they wisely chose not to take advantage of that situation. I mean, I don't know if anyone would have really blamed him for doing it. It would have been the smart move, but at the same time, depending on the price and everything else, it could have definitely been very upsetting for the traders who, get hit. Because when a company does a secondary offering, if the price is $25 a share, all of a sudden it drops back down, usually pretty close to that price. Yeah, and I know, Charlie. I saw that quote about Charlie Munger, and I personally don't. I mean, I'm not saying that he's not super successful. He is, but I don't take my trading advice really. Well, I don't take trading advice from anyone, but I trade my own strategy. But I wouldn't take a lot of advice from someone who has such a different strategy. That's not. They don't trade. We as active traders, we capitalize on these volatility opportunities, and that's been true for forever. That's what active traders have always done. So people that are focusing on fundamental analysis, they always will criticize these times when the price becomes so disconnected from fundamentals. How different is that from what's happened on Tesla? I mean, if you're going to be honest, how different is it? How much is Tesla up? How much has the market share changed, and the market cap? So let me just, I have this, and I'm just throwing out my I guess I don't really care all that much, but if someone's going to say that this is crazy and we should something should be done to prevent this from happening again, I would say, well, has anyone looked at Tesla recently? I haven't heard too many people complaining about the Tesla chart. That's the Tesla market cap in a year. Okay, so it didn't happen in a week, but this is their market cap. This is their global revenue. So yeah, Wall Street has always been pricing higher what a company is going to produce, and Tesla's on a great track, certainly much better than these companies. But does that justify it being worth more than all of those other car makers combined? I don't know. I mean, you could say that that is its current value. That's its current price. So investors do believe it's at that value. And if you have a problem with the current value of GameStop, I would hope that you would also have a problem with the current value of Tesla, because it doesn't seem to exactly match the fundamental value. So that's where we have a disconnect. And those disconnects provide opportunities for fundamental traders as well. That's why some people have a strong short position on Tesla, because they think it's so disconnected from the current trading price from the actual sort of book value. And on the other hand, long-term investors like Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, they would look for a stock that is very disconnected from its
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I mean, I haven't run into that. I mean, I've run into like a whole host of DMCA issues, but that's a bum. Were you able to talk to them to see if you could get the fundraiser status where YouTube doesn't take like their cut on everything?
No, did Trey ever get that?
No, like he like didn't hear back. So when he was doing his last weekend with the Wounded Warrior, I don't think they like. I guess it's a slow process. But it's, I don't know. Maybe they'll do it like retroactively for you.
Yes.
I just haven't done it like myself, but I don't know. It does. I've just seen, I think like with Meet Kevin and stuff, that sometimes it's like you see that tag of fundraiser. So like there obviously has to be some sort of way to do it.
Right. We have plenty of questions about stonks, so let's rush through. No Yachty Thoughty had a question about options. We'll cover that in a second. But first, let's look at that cup and handle. Let me share my screen. Let me see if that works for your audience. Let's see what we're looking at here. So if I try this is low technology here. But what we're seeing here is the historical cup and handle here for the Wynn Resorts back in 2002. And if you guys have not yet seen just like a cartoon definition of the cup and handle, we're looking for a long U shape down here in the bottom. This is where the GME was trending at $40 for almost all of February. That the longer the U, the deeper it is, and the less V-shaped it is, the more strong of a bullish indicator that is, right? This is essentially the January squeeze right here, when the gamma squeeze brought GME all the way up to 400 and change. And this is the gamma squeeze over on March. This is essentially what we are seeing as the other rim of the cup. Now, a couple of people are saying that if you guys aren't aware of how this works, essentially this cup and handle works as if this is testing one resistance, and then people buy in when the stock drops off and consolidates, and then they test the resistance again. That second test is looking at whether or not this is going to be a major resurgence as a rebound play of people finding out that this, when they walk down to this handle, it usually trends downwards a little bit, has a little bit of consolidation, but towards the bottom is when we see a major rip. And that is one of the catalysts that could trigger a gamma squeeze. And again, as you guys know, the booster rocket for the gamma squeeze is the catalyst for the short squeeze. So speaking of 212, Matt, we just got up to your 212 prediction number.
Yeah, so I'm just watching that. I mean, obviously it's resistance, so I hope the wall falls. Actually, is there a wall of sellers? Let's check this out. Let me bring up the level 2. No major wall. I think GME, there's a big wall on AMC. My chat and I, we've been watching AMC. Huge wall. Like they keep moving the wall slightly, like 1405. We saw 1408, 1410. Right now, I'm not seeing, it's still at 1410. It just got moved to 1401. They just keep moving this wall of 15,000 sellers or shares for sale on AMC. So that one's struggling, but GME is on the move right now. 412 or 212 is an important breakout. The intraday high is 217.39, at least on my chart. From here, we saw, if we look at like more of this 30-minute chart, let's see where GME is going. GME is looking good. I just drew on my chat the cup and handle. I threw in some rocket emojis just in case we need people that need a little bit more, I guess, evidence of what's going on. But anyway, let's bring this up. Where do we get rejected? So on, what was this? March 16th, which is whenever, 3 days ago, issues at 220. The next day after that, we had issues at 225, 230. And there's also some support at 230. So 230, I would say, is the next legitimate stop. And then 230 past that, we have that psychological level at 250. So if we can hold this on decent volume on GameStop, we're at 216 right now. It's about to make a new intraday high. I think it's going to be quick to 230. I really do. Who knows? I'm just throwing my own suggestion out there. Guys, don't trade on anything I say. Don't trade on anything Andrew says. We're here for entertainment, but like for what I know about the market, and take this with a pinch of salt, grain of salt, bucket of salt. I'm just a guy who wears a duck shirt. I think we're about to rip to 230. No questions asked.
Are you wearing that duck shirt right now?
No, I'm going to break that out when we really need to get through this wall of AMC.
Okay,
like
good.
Dire circumstances, it was worth, because it's a little bit too powerful, like where you wear that and I have the
the duck shirt with the chair and then meatballs in the background on yours. Like, I don't want to break the stock market. Like, I'm just trying to make some money. I'm not trying to like ruin the economy by like everything going to the moon.
That's a good question. How do we ruin the economy, and who is going to pay? I think all of these questions we're going to have to cover eventually. There are also 7 main points for those of you in your audience that are looking for the updates on GME. There are 7 important points that they do have to understand for Witching Day, and we have been covering it on my channel. Happy to walk through that in just a second. We have questions from Kyle and Merriman. I'm just trying to sort through them, so I appreciate the super. Thank you for the donation. If you guys did want to donate to the charity over here, donations are accepted on Venmo and PayPal to be able to walk through the YouTube paywall if they don't give us the fundraiser like mark. But if you did want to just throw a super chat in there, it does also help out other people with their goals. Right here, we have someone with a goal that said if we raise $10,000 today, they're going to buy another $5,000 of GME. And a Voxier who has had a pledge so far of once this channel hits 65,000 subs, which we're 2,600 away from, or when we have a stream hit 10,000 likes, which we were so close to on that other stream, but we will rebuild on this stream, then he is going to put $14,000 into GME. He said somewhere between 12 and 40. He reconfirmed on my stream that he's going to put $14,000 into GME.
I wish he would just do that right now and help this run.
Yes. Well, once again, if you guys do, Matt, I have you in my title. If you guys have the link to my channel, you guys can just pop over, help out the cause, and get a Voxier to be good on his goal. That's both subscribe and like goals for him to spend another 14K. So we have the 7 important updates, but they are surrounding the fact that this cup and handle shape is basically fueled by the fact that the hedgies are running out of ammo, right? The volume yesterday was pitiful at 10 million, not even 10 million on the day. And that was from 35 million a couple of days ago on an average of 43 million for the last 3 months. So this is exactly the cup and handle characteristics of running low on volume on the handle and seeing a minor dip. On my screen over here, we're looking at the Wind Resort, and there was a major red candle close to the end of that handle, right? So they are going to look at the same charts. They're going to understand that a cup and handle is what everyone is talking about right now, and they're going to possibly take us for a ride. By which I mean, we see that there's minor growth on the Wind Resort in 2002, and when it grows upward, it ends up getting hurt on the way down, right? So we could be seeing a minor raise up to like 250 today, and then they might hurt us going all the way back down to strong support levels at 170, 157, and possibly even lower. So if that does happen, it happened before in 2002 for Wind Resorts, right? They understand they're watching the same exact charts, give us a little bit of bait, and then they could switch it out by the end of today. So be careful about any more tricks.
Interesting. I mean, I like what I'm seeing right now. A lot. It's kind of. So I'm looking at just GME because sometimes like with short squeezes and all that stuff, like I think each one's just so different because it's more of like a play on human psychology than anything else. And I was just looking back at some of the GME charts, and the days that had big movements, it really was like a soft opening, low volume, and then out of nowhere, it picked up midday, and then from like 2 to 4, that's just like almost all the volume was like late day, and it just started to move. And it's a couple things are coming to like, I guess, head right now. I mean, obviously it's quadruple witching. We have all those options expiring today. I know Hey It's Pixel did all of his due diligence specifically for today, March 19th. It's just going to be fun to see, honestly, how it plays out. I'm very, very excited. I like that GME is finally getting volume because it's been like its lowest volume week in a while. It's been so low. So it's cool to see that some volume's coming in. We just hit 221, just below 221. And if we, oh man, I'm just like imagining right now, like what's going to happen. Cause like, it's like, I really, really like your snowball analogy of like how it gets out of hand. And it's one of those things that like, as it goes more green, it's easier for it to go even more green just because it's getting out of hand. The volatility is picking up, the snowball's being built. We're pushing it down the mountain. So like even all this is like, I feel more confident about it going from 250 to 280 than I do from here to 230. Even though that's a bigger jump, I just think we're dealing with a lot of awesome bullish momentum if we get to that point. It's just like we need that first domino to fall, really.
Exactly. And we have, this is the 7th point of 7 points that I want to cover before everyone understands everything about the GME situation. But there was someone with Bloomberg terminal data that was sharing on GME as part of DD. I'm sharing it on my screen. However, I'm just going to tell it over to your crowd. Essentially, we see that there are 11,000 options expiring tomorrow if the price hits 250. So you're not wrong. It's going to be pretty hard to get up that last $30. However, when that happens, there's going to be, options, 11,000 options. That's 1 million shares that are going to be in the money. That said, you're someone that trades often with options. We had a question about options, and I think that was Little Yachty Thoughty said that he has an option for AMC expiring at $19, right? Even if these options get in the money, there's a good chance that they're just going to be sold instead of actually exercised. What is your opinion on if you were in Little Yachty's space of having either a option that is going to be definitely expiring out of the money or expiring in the money, and you have to now choose whether to sell or exercise it? And how do both of those decisions change the squeeze conditions?
Well, so it's more so about like the market makers like protecting the risk of their book. So if he has an AMC expiring at $19 today, that's not going to do anything because it's too far away that I don't think if we get close, if we somehow get to 16, 17, it might cause the market makers to buy some shares to protect themselves. But right now, it's just no impact because the statistical chance of it expiring out of the money is just so high that no impact on that. But in terms of what you were talking about with GME for 250, that's actually also not going to have any impact on it because we're so close to 250 now that the market makers already bought shares just in case those get exercised. So it's not buying new shares, they're already purchased and then they're just transferring ownership. It's a little bit different if, say, someone is buying a lot of out of the money at like 300 today. All of a sudden, if we're tracking up to 275, 280, and the market makers are like, whoa, we need to protect our own risk by buying shares because we sold all those options, that's a different scenario because you almost like, it's not the really far away ones and it's also not the close ones. It's those ones that are awkwardly in the middle that as we start tracking to it, the market makers, their delta exposure goes up. So that's when they're buying shares. So all of a sudden, if we hit 250, well, those call options at 275, 300 might be triggering the risk parameters where they have to buy more shares of GME to protect their own risk. And then that helps the self-fulfilling prophecy of a gamma squeeze, which helps it goes up. So then you have the 325, 350s, which might go in the money, which causes them to buy more. But the 250 ones, they already bought those shares to protect themselves on that.
Very likely. And as we were talking about the fact that, once again, too long didn't read, Matt was saying that even if your shares go in the money and you don't exercise them, it's likely they bought your shares early enough. So that was the price action that you were expecting to change the price anyway. We saw GME just rip all the way to 225, now directly underneath that 225 level of resistance. This is levels of resistance that I mapped out days ago. Right, so this is just exactly how the market behaves predictably, pushing up against that 200 and 220 level of resistance, getting rejected again, and then getting rejected at 225. This is just clockwork, and right now we're just $25 away from the 250 a week, and then we are going to see some pretty solid growth as all of these options end up having to be delta hedged on the way up there. Ooh, this is a big ride. And one of the thoughts that we had is, hey, what exactly should we expect when these call options end up in the money? Should we expect the squeeze to happen today, or more likely when when the price shows us how many options are going to be in the money, what is going to happen on Monday? What do you think?
So still going in the money, out of the money. I mean, I don't know if it's like really the right way to think about it. I think there's a lot of confusion about gamma squeezes and going from in the money to out of the money. The hedge happens before. It's not like once they go in the money, the next day all those shares hit the market. It's just not how it's done in the back end. Right now, all the people that have 250 calls, and I'm actually one of them. I completely forgot. I have GME calls at 250 for next Friday. So these ones, like, the market makers already bought some shares to like protect it, especially if there's a huge volume. They're not going to like blow up their book for it. It's more so of as it happens. It's like a slow and steady thing. It's not like a binary of like, oh, it has to happen today when the market opens or closes. It's a very slow burn grind type thing as more and more people are piling into the trade, especially then if the trade is trending in your direction.
Exactly. Aviv Mal says if this live stream reaches 10K live viewers, he's going to buy another 3,000 GME. So if you wanted to see both Matt and me on the same time, well, that's a perfectly fine way. Just use Matt's link in the title, I think, or in the description. Either way will lead you over to my channel so that we can get Aviv Mal to say yes to his goal. Once more, that is only 2 out of the 7 things that we need to focus on. Another thing is Alexis Goldstein's write-up of exactly what happened earlier on in the GME hearing on Wednesday. That was basically the key takeaways of payment for order flow and about clearinghouse time and how long that should take. T+2 or T+0 or even close to real time. All of that stuff was out in the open and a lot more honest than the first GME Congress meeting. And this time it just basically is experts telling us that a lot of the actions taken were illegal and a lot of the actions that they will continue to do is going to be at very least highly sus. So we now have the playbook on how these hedges are playing us. That is one of the other core updates. Does your fan base have a good grasp on what happened in the GME hearing? So I don't have to repeat these?
We talked about that a bit. So I'm curious, though, what part were you saying that was like illegal from that particular hearing? Like that came out as like illicit, I guess, actions?
That's a good question. So actually there is 10 minutes of the GME hearing that was taken out of the CNBC broadcast. It was shown live on the House of Representatives official YouTube page. It was broadcast live on mine. It was also broadcast live on CNBC, and then they went back and took it out. So there is side-by-side footage of Mr. Kelleher talking about that kind of like specific illicit activity, mainly cyclical shorting, which is taking a short and then trying and covering another short with that short, basically saying, hey, I'm about to run out of time on this short, or I don't want to pay interest on this short anymore, and they take another short from someone else, and this kind of goes back and forth. This is just one of the major no-nos that has been uncovered, or at the very least shown more attention to during that GME hearing. And very suspicious that CNBC went out and cut out. So be it as it may, if you guys wanted to see that 10-minute long clip, I did talk about it on this channel here.
I'm confused though. How do you get away with not paying interest? Like if you have a position, like you have to pay interest because it's who you're renting it from. Like if I run hedge fund A and I'm renting shares from Citadel's not going to let me get away with not paying my rental.
That's correct. And that is one of the like larger pieces of the DD that we talked about in terms of cyclical shorts. It's not like they're avoiding paying interest, but it is beneficial to them to be able to kind of like swap them out, basically maxing one credit card with another credit card.
Okay, yeah. So I get the almost like churning on that, like the recycling. I get that. I just didn't know. So like I think what was it? I think there's a lot of confusion about like the ownership thing of just like if you ever own shares, and that part's been known for a while about with Robinhood, Webull, like all of these people. When you have a margin account, when you sign up, like if you read the terms of service, no one like, I mean, it's a weird, you basically own an IOU of like, yeah, sure, like we'll say that you own it and we'll spot you at the price that you say you're going to get it. But I see that in my community a decent amount of like just kind of surprised of like that's how it works, and it does seem crazy. But just so everyone out there, even today, right now, if you're on Webull, Robinhood, especially any of these free ones, especially with a margin account, you're never going to actually own the share. Same with the crypto. Like you actually don't own Bitcoin or Ethereum if you're buying Bitcoin or Ethereum on Webull or Robinhood, which I think surprises quite a few people, but it's just how it is.
It's funny that when people hear that, because they hear, oh, I don't actually own my crypto. Well, at least it's the ease and convenience of crypto, right? I don't have to actually open up a BlockFi account, which both Matt and I have affiliate links down below if you haven't yet opened your BlockFi accounts. But the thing about not being able to affect the stock market because of contract for difference, that is huge. And has your audience understood that scandal yet with Robinhood?
Wait, what part? What do you mean scandal?
Well, CFD, right? So contract for difference of not having your shares when they promise to actually buy your shares on your behalf. At the very least, that kind of is a bombshell for people with confidence in the market, seeing that the retail sector wants to be able to buy and hold, right? They're buying and holding on a possibly completely imaginary ledger that Robinhood has essentially set up for differencing, right? When you sell your stock, they could have just never owned the stock to begin with. So your buying and selling actions doesn't affect the price. That is a huge bombshell for a lot of people. And we've been covering that on my channel.
Oh yeah, but wasn't that known at the first one of just like the fact that well, that's like the whole T2 argument of like them taking time to do it. Like when you hit buy on Robinhood or GME, like everyone should know, like it's at that second. It's not like they're actually buying it. It's just not how it works, unfortunately.
And T+2 is maybe a facet of an older world, right? Back in the day with everybody shouting out and going stonks. People are asking where Matt's link is. It is already tied to the title of this video. Actually, sorry. I now need to add it. Matt Core. There it is. So featuring Matt Core, there it is. If you guys are not aware, when you buy a stock, it's usually someone shouting out in Wall Street and saying, hey, I want you to buy the stock back in the olden days, right? So that's why if you didn't have either the money or maybe they didn't have the stock, this needs to clear. And it used to take 3 days, like T+3 before War came and changed that process. He was one of the people testifying in the GME hearing before, but now is T+2. So it's slightly shorter, right? It still takes 2 days before when the confetti hits your Robinhood screen before you actually get the stock, the account gets taken out of your buying power. However, that is a facet of the past. Why exactly do we have to do that when blockchain already exists as perfectly real time? So that is one of the questions that was raised as the sand in the gears, right? This sand is meant to prevent people from going too fast and getting themselves hurt. However, right now it's being used as a red herring or an excuse for the kinds of irresponsibilities, especially with Robinhood saying that, oh, because of the collateral we had to put up for our clearinghouse, we just couldn't figure it out. It must be T+2. Curse that T+2. Well, if that's their excuse, then take it away, right? They don't get to make that excuse if that excuse no longer exists.
Yeah, I mean, I follow with that a little bit, but wasn't that more of, I think it was more on Robinhood's, well, we always hear that thing of how it was like a 5 sigma event, as in like the chance of what happening with GME was like 1 in like, I don't know, like 3 million or something. And then the clearing corp was just like, hey, we need like more money because it does take time to process it. So I feel like I do agree with that like if we didn't have like that 2-day settlement, it would just make more sense. But like, I'm not the expert on it, but allegedly there's like quite a few big technical hurdles that have to be overcome to like make that possible, but I'm also supportive of it because then at a certain point that means that it might be improved by the fact if they're actually buying shares opposed to these like quasi IOUs like promises. Like it seems like it would be better if you could just do like the instant like I guess transport of like the actual ownership of the shares.
So the scandal with Robinhood is that they are using something called CFD, contract for difference. And this is different than how much time it takes to clear your transaction. Taking time to clear a transaction, this is just tale as old as time, right? Maybe people didn't know when they pressed that link and Robinhood says, congrats, you're a stock owner now. Maybe they didn't know it takes actually 2 days, but that's a different thing entirely. The scandal is that they were using CFD, a tactic that is normally reserved for options, right? Let's say that you buy an option and they don't cover it. Then that's a naked option and also known as contract for difference, where at the end of the day, if you end up not being able to buy the shares, then they just end up keeping your money, right? They do some differencing in their head and they give you the difference based on what they calculated if they bought the stock. However, for Robinhood, the scandal was that they were doing CFDs on shares. So CFD is basically they pretend like they bought a share for you. And then when it's time to settle up, they will just give you the difference. If you made money, they'll give you some money. Right? But it's not like you bought or sold any shares to begin with. And this was for a long, long time, not just for the amount of time it takes to clear not because they were trying to execute your order. They took your order, they were listening to it, they said, thanks so much. That's it. Especially if they expected the price of the stock to go down, they would not buy the stock at all. Because in that sense, all you're going to do is owe them money at the end of the day. If the stock average tried to go back up or getting close to your average price, then they will be taking on a risk. And in that sense, they might just go ahead and buy the stock on your behalf. But it's kind of like saying, like stealing a car, right? You steal a car and say, I have reasonable plausibility that I'm going to return this car with interest later. And then the police officer lets you go. Like, this is just way too suspicious. And European markets are actually working on the opposite, right? There is unreasonable plausibility or a reasonable implausibility that you can't just take something like a naked short or a synthetic short or synthetic long position and pretend like everything's okay until you get proven that you cannot deliver when you fail to deliver. That is a facet of currently what is allowed in our legal system.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, with that, I mean, I think it's more of like publicized. I guess correct me if I'm wrong. I thought this stuff though of like how it was working in the background, like if you looked into how Robinhood's like terms of service, I thought this was like, yeah, they said they did it, but now it just took this whole like congressional meeting for that to become like, I don't know, for lack of a better term, like front page news of like, oh, okay, now we all know, and it sounds super crazy. So is the better question of like, why did our like legal system allow for this in the first place, type of a deal?
Good question, right? And that is the reason why it's being brought in front of lawmakers, in front of congressional people. That this ends up being one of the more important questions of, well, if at the end of the day we can only point a finger at us, and if the finger is at the lawmakers and saying, well, how can this be allowed? A lot of one side of one party said that, well, the SEC already has a ton of possible like tools that they can use. So they should be able to handle it. And however, the other side, that same side of the party is not the one funding the SEC, opposing increases to its budget. So they're saying this guy can handle it. He's our plumber. He's the one that takes care of everything, and the plumber is being underpaid. That's going to be a question for future regulations, such as I think we're eventually going to get around to it, payment for order flow, which is Robinhood and other brokers taking the delta, the small microsecond delta of you making your order, and then essentially telling the entire world what price you'll be comfortable buying and selling the stock at, right? And then when that happens, the microseconds later, the high frequency trading algorithms takes that data and historically has shown that they hedge against you. They play the market in the opposite direction because they know that you're likely just an inexperienced buyer with low volume and no actual sense of what you're going to do. And most likely you're just going to buy and hold anyway. So they have a good understanding exactly how to predict your price movements.
Gotcha. Interesting. Well, it'll be, well, I don't honestly, the way our political and legal system move, I wouldn't be surprised if they do absolutely nothing, but it'll be interesting to see if anything comes from this.
Yes, that is just the tip of the iceberg right now with the kinds of laws that are working around and the takeaways from that GME hearing. In general, right now, as we have been chatting around, GameStop has now fallen down to 215, right? So that is actually lower than 2 levels below the resistance and support that we wanted it to be able to be caught at. Now, your prediction of it running up to 250. What are you looking for in terms of price points? And if some people have been asking for non-financial advice entry points, what are you thinking?
I mean, I was still first calling for 230, and it looks like we had 227. So I definitely wanted it to tag 230. But I mean, at this point, just on an intraday basis, I'm sure the RSI just got overextended on that. So maybe it's just taking a bit of a breather, but it's also midday trading. So like you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. What's the RSI? Yeah, the RSI got blown up to 80 on that movement on the 5-minute chart. So I think this is a breather. Realistic chance it just comes down, reaffirms 212, and then comes back up to 230, and hopefully past that, that's 250 region. But the RSI definitely needed to cool off.
RSI needed to cool off. Right now it is at 40. It was up above 70 for a little hot second. And now if we're looking at other indicators here, the MACD has its line trending far below that signal line. Do you use the MACD?
Yeah, once in a while. I mean, I'm familiar with all of those.
I sent you a text about some of this stuff before. If you wanted to check it, I am looking at the like main sense of when we are spacing off on these indicators. They're like a concert of different types of things that we need to focus on at the same time. And most importantly, even though people have been calling for cup and handles, at times it may not be able to, support one thesis or another if it's just one piece of the puzzle that we're all looking at together. People have been asking about Robinhood, if they are just pretending or CFD our shares, should we transfer our account to another brokerage? Would this not force them to buy real shares? Transferring our accounts to other brokerages is one of your best bets in actually causing your shares to either be actualized and bought, right? Because if they don't own your shares right now, they will have to when they send your shares over to another broker. But some people have talked about selling your shares to just buy them on another broker because you're afraid of how long the transfer time will take. That is not a good idea. And there's a couple of reasons why. But Matt, I want to give you a chance to jump in here if you wanted to talk about something else.
So in terms of the transfership, I'm not too familiar with that. I've never actually transferred shares. Like whenever I open a new account, I just start buying new. So I'm not really sure the stock market plumbing for that one in the back end of how that would work.
So transfership is just passing a piece of the stock over from one broker to another, right?
Yeah. But why couldn't they just transfer the IOU? Like, why does it have to go through like real shares back to the IOU? Because right now the way you have an IOU essentially from Robinhood, it's the same thing for Webull. So I don't know if the stock market plumbing is IOU to real stock back to IOU, or if they just transfer the IOU from Robinhood to Webull.
You know what, and specifically with that question, I'm not 100% sure if other companies engaging in CFD would then just add another ticker to that symbol. I would imagine that there's some regulations of like trading imaginary shares between brokers. But you're right. Specifically on that question, I'm not 100% clear on. However, if you do transfer to a brokerage that does not use CFD, then you would be forcing Robinhood to provide an actual share.
Interesting. Huh. Well, right now, I guess as we're talking about it, this is looking exciting. GME coming back up a little bit. AMC, the range is getting tighter and tighter, so it has to make its decision soon. This consolidation, like, it's just like it can't really consolidate more. I mean, the range for these 5-minute bars is now like a couple cents. It's crazy. We're gonna make this movement, but a huge wall of sellers at 1405. I hope it breaks soon. This is exactly what we saw yesterday at 1440, and then eventually the bear camp ended up winning, at least on the intraday basis. So let's hope that today is the day of the bulls.
Yeah, and let's give our friends at AMC a little love as well. AMC has just been nonstop hugging that $14 mental barrier. I have its resistance track at $14.10, and it has bumped up against at least 3 times. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, and one tiny more time, 5th time earlier on today. For AMC, what are your hopes, desires, dreams?
Man, I like just that high from yesterday, like basically 1450, might be like 1452 or 6 or something like that. I would just love to somehow close above that. I mean, for me, I have a bunch of AMC calls that expire today above 15. It was more of like a lotto play if we got a nice squeeze. So I would love for it to sail past 15. But in terms of technicals, the intraday high is 1418. Past that, I would watch that region between 1440, 1450.
We have also tracked AMC, and sorry, I'm just sending you a text. And we have also tracked AMC earlier on that $15 is where a lot of its call options are. So that is where, let me see if I can pull up the real numbers here. AMC. So a couple more thoughts about GME is on the way. So don't fret. But I cannot find my AMC BD. However, the $15 is the current like threshold for just a crake ton amount of call options in the wave, right? We are looking for just so many options that would either have to be delta hedged by the people that sold these options or exercised come Monday or anytime if it is ending the day in the money. One of the topics that I'm not sure that your viewers have seen quite yet is someone did the math, and they have no doubt that the current retail investors, you and I, the apes in the world, have no doubt that we own more than 100% of the remaining float, and it could be even up to 900% and above, right? So a quick definition of the float. I'm just going to bulldoze through unless Matt has something else to add here, which you stop me at any time. The float is just how many bananas are on the tree that an ape can pick. Some bananas issued by the company is reserved for people wearing suits, right? Institutions and other holders that do not include retail investors like us. So those bananas are reserved away, and the float is all of the bananas, the shares that we can buy from the company itself. Let's assume there's only one banana. Well, that one banana can be bought by me, and now I own 100% of the company, of the float. Now another person can tap me on the shoulder and say, I want to borrow your banana, right? This is just lending out your share. Remember that they can do this without your permission if you have a margin account in either Webull or Robinhood. That's why a lot of people have already switched over to a cash account so that they can't do this to you. But they borrow your share and they say, usually, but in the case of Robinhood and Webull, they don't give you anything for it. When they borrow your share, they say, hey, I'm going to give you some interest on top of this. I'm going to sell it to another ape for now. And that is a short. Now that you've covered a short, is the other ape that just bought your banana, even though you think you're holding it, just a piece of paper right now that says an IOU. Now 2 apes own 100% of the float together. That's 200% of the float. So a smart ape went to all of the large brokers. They tallied up all of the users. They went to the publicly reported numbers of how many users hold GME, and they tallied it up together to see that even if every ape that owns GME has 5 shares, they would own more than 190% of the float, right? Do that simple math. If everybody who owns GME only has 1 share, the minimum amount of shares, right, then they would have 200% divided by 5. So at least 40% of the float. So, and we know that people like deep effing value, right? Like Renzel and Paid Pixel have bought tens, if not hundreds of thousands in Roaring Kitty's case, has bought 100,000 shares of GME. So we know that on average, there's no way that there is less than 100% ownership of the float by us, just the apes, the regular retail investors here.
Well, at a certain point though, couldn't that be bad if like we've run out of all of our firepower to keep going higher? Because like just because you already have the ownership, well, like you need new momentum, right? So couldn't that be kind of a bad sign if we're already like so overextended?
It could, but one of the most important pieces of the puzzle is that we are now going to be the ones setting the price. So you can imagine that there are imagine you go into an AMC theater. Let's just keep AMC relevant and say that you walk into a theater and you want to buy a bottle of water. Well, what price is that bottle of water worth to you if you couldn't bring any water into the theater and you're thirsty? Now replace it with the desert. In the desert, how much water would you buy? How much would you pay for a bottle of water if you were thirsty? You would pay any price. So right now, the people holding the shares of GME get to set their price as we get higher and higher. And this recursive short covering that is going to have to happen when they take one picture of a banana and have to give it back to that person that they borrowed it from, and they swap banana for picture over and over. That is going to be the short squeeze setting off, which is a question of how does the hedge funds plan to die, right? How does the hedge fund want to plan their death? Are they going to wait until a margin call, or are they going to try and cover slowly, even though they could have covered way earlier at $40 for GME and for AMC closer to like the $7 single digit? How do you think the hedge funds are going to cover, and what exactly do you think the hedge funds are planning?
I mean, I think hopefully it's just them like pounding the buy button over and over to get it out. Like, I think they just have their own risk parameters, and once we get to a certain price level, they'll have to pull the ripcord, and then obviously as it goes up, it'll cause other people to buy. So I think for them, they're just gonna like legitimately just like at a certain point have to buy.
And that is the kicker right there. Is that Vala Morgulis, right? All men must die, all shorts must cover, whether it was synthetic or not, whether they just pulled a banana picture out of the air and said, here's your banana. You wanted to buy a share? There you go, right? Even if they couldn't find a borrower on one side, that is going to be a share that they need to cover. And that is the truth for both AMC and GME. They keep on maxing out their credit cards instead of covering. People have asked a bunch of questions, right, about beta. So I'm not sure if you've talked about beta yet. We can talk about whether or not that is relevant at all to the equation. And people have asked about whether or not the hedgies can take long positions. So I'll drop those two questions, whichever direction you want to take. Choose your own adventure. Or if you wanted to go on a third direction, that's fine too. I'm game for any kind of conversation about these two meme stocks.
So I mean, theta right now, that's all just going to be so dependent on like where the biggest volume is. And like, I mean, today the theta is going to get maxed out just with all the expiration today. What was the second one?
It does sound like I said theta. I said beta.
Oh, beta, like the beta exposure for gamma squeezes for like the market makers?
Exactly.
I mean, even if it's super, super high, it's not going to much matter if there's not movement in the stock. Like inherently, it comes back to your analogy of like, even if we put all this snow in front of the snowballs, like the snowball still has to start moving. So it could be nice, but we just need to get nice, solid movement. Basically, people just need to buy it higher and higher. So it could be good, but I guess one clarification I want to make to my chat and your chat is it's not like, I think there was a big assumption of that day way back when AMC closed above $8 that we all thought more shares were going to be purchased the next day, or like when the market opened back up on Monday and Tuesday. That's just not really how it works.
Okay, I was reading your chat, sorry. I didn't mean to talk your ear off. I just was so excited about these ideas. So hashtag free Matt. Matt, how would you like to drive this conversation?
I kind of whatever's going on. In a little bit we have to drop just for our options section of the day, but we can do a little bit more about like whatever you see going on.
Heck yeah. So in that sense, we covered that there were accounts being banned from Hayes, Pixel, and Warden Elite from RGME. So if you guys are wondering if this is still a war, if they wouldn't be falsely flagging these DD writers on GME, this wouldn't be the case, right? We are also seeing that people had some price support levels for how low GME could go. So if you guys are looking for entry levels for GME yet, we can talk about that as well. Overall, we've actually covered a lot of this. So the ownership math that we just covered, like that chart shows that even we could be seeing like on average, depending on how many shares on average everyone has. But if you guys have been hearing the reports, you shouldn't be reporting your position. But if you've been reporting your position, no one's ever like, I have 1 share of GME. Like how many people have just like less than 5 shares of GME? We are looking at some pretty solid like proof that we have more than 100% ownership.
Well, with that proof though, but like what does that change? Like I don't see how that like inherently changes the problem. I like that retail's invested in it. Like I think that's a very good thing, but it's more of like still that intraday momentum. So even right now with the overexposure from the retail market in AMC, let's just say at 14 here, well, we need like more people to step in, or whether it's retail money, hedge fund money, I really don't care whose money it is. But right now, I think it's like the battle of what's happening in the moment and not what happened in like the previous days.
I suppose the story here that we're telling is that we are the apes that are in control, right? We are the whales. Welcome to whale land. This is trying to tell us about how much control we have, one, and how screwed the hedgies are when they have to recursively cover, because we're just talking about us. We're talking about the float, shares that are reserved for us in one tree. There are still shares out there that are being controlled by a bunch of other institutions and larger whales and shares that we can't touch, bananas that we can't eat. However, if the calculations here indicate that we have recursively upwards of 10 times the total number of shares that we need to recursively cover, hey, that means that right now we hold all the cards more so than we thought before.
I mean, we have the cards, but also it could be bad in the sense that like if people panic and there's a lot of these owners are paper-handed, well, that could prompt a huge panic sale then.
That's fair. Scissors in the chat right now. Once again, I'm sure Matt said it a couple of times, but if you need to, if you've already invested more money than you're willing to lose, the scissors are for you, right? There's no shame, absolutely no sarcasm in my voice when I say there's no shame in getting out while GME is stable, right? While GME is staying at this low part of the cup and handle graph, right before the gamma squeeze, right before the short squeeze. If you wanted to get out, there's no guarantees whether or not anything is going to happen to the price. So if you have listened to the fundamentals, if you listen to the DDs, if you've been following me and Matt, smashing the subscribe button and that like button for both of us, I imagine that if you still aren't convinced and you expect a paper hand, now's the time to exit. Like, just telling you now.
Before I drop here, Andrew, I'm just curious, what is your like, and obviously we're just throwing this out there, no one hold them to it. What is your end of day target for both GME and AMC? Like, not just ideal, like where do you think we're like legitimately headed right now that we've seen like half the day play out? Where do you think these two could end today?
Price projections are always such a bad ROI for YouTubers, and that's the truth, right? It's a bad risk reward. So what I'm gonna say is that if GME has hovered up to close to 230 before, there is someone controlling whether or not GME wants to get any further than that. Now, that said, it's not the last chance, right? We're going to expect a ton of pressure and power hour as all of these contracts are at risk of expiring. 4 different markets worth. That's why I'm wearing the witch hat, guys. Quadruple witching day. So if I can imagine, here is the condition on which GME would pass over 250. If GME can pass over to that 230 mark that you mentioned before, we should be able to see GME pass up to 250 and close there to put up to 1 million more shares into the money. For AMC specifically, I imagine that it's been stuck at 14 all day. Unfortunately, the cards may, or the publicity may just not be in AMC's favor. I don't want to put any hard numbers on AMC specifically because it just hasn't been showing us a lot of signals. But in my opinion, if AMC can get up to 15, that would just put so many more extra shares on the table for Monday that we are going to likely see AMC take off pretty much directly after that. So it all depends on whether or not AMC can pass through this 14 barrier of resistance, pass through another one at 1450, and then get all the way up to 15.
I like that. I would love to see that 15 today, and I would love to see, I mean, obviously for both of them, the higher the better, but man, GME above 230, really 250, I think the cards could start to fall in our favor. That would be awesome.
Right. And here's the thing, the more that streamers like us like put out the news here, the more people, the people that are watching us that are invested in the stock is going to start focusing up on those numbers. And we want you to remember that this is a long-term game, even if that squeeze doesn't happen today or coming out towards GME earnings call next week. Super excited for that. That is something that you have to be wary of, right? This is a long-term fight, and the hedgies are also likely playing the exact same stream, playing the exact same game that we are. This is quadruple witching day, right? If it's a big old nothing sandwich at the end of the day, I'm still going to be holding.
Yep, pretty much. Hodl. All right, well, we're going to drop over here for a little bit of Tendy Times. Best of luck, everyone. Remember, so in the title of this video, I tagged Andrew Mo Money. Check that channel out, raising money for a good cause. Everyone show that a little bit of love. But I'm sure I'll be talking to you pretty soon, Andrew. Back, we'll hold them in this weekend, get the 4 of us back on a full chat.
Ooh, heck yeah. Well, I'm going to hold you to it. Thank you, Matt. And hashtag free Matt, you are officially free. Thank you, chat. And once again, guys, we are trying to raise money for vets against FUD, right? For veterinarians and pets against fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And we will see you guys here whenever you guys want to. Peace for now.
Thank you, Andrew. And once again, just to reiterate that, I checked out some of that charity stuff. It is worthwhile to look into, everyone. It is a good cause. So give that a peek when you have a free moment with all these AMC and GME gains. All right. Thank you, Andrew. Have a good one.
See you in Tendy Town.
See ya. All right. We are back at it again. Daniel. All right. So AMC, absolutely amazing job of doing nothing. It's almost jaw dropping about AMC at 14. And now we have 2 walls, 1405 and 1410. So between the two, this 23,000 shares to be sold. AMC, big fight for it, unfortunately. Tesla coming down a little bit. I know you guys don't really care too much about Tesla. GME was looking good, 227. And now we are, where are we at? 215. Hang on, let me clean this back up. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. All right. I think we are back where we need to be. Back at it. We haven't checked on Tiblio yet. We should check out Tiblio. Let me quickly run through. Man, while I was doing that chat, I was really expecting you guys to push AMC for me, but here we are. This is what happens when I let you space apes drive this rocket ship. Just random. All right. You guys really should. I mean, Andrew, he's always up to date on all the breaking news, Reddit, all the due diligence. He does have cool interviews. It is a worthwhile channel to check out. Check out his charity. I'm super happy that his dog was all good. Meatball, Mr. Meatball, got through his surgery, no issues. That's awesome. But check that out. Just he is another ape with us. He runs the Moon Platoon. Definitely supportive of AMC and GME getting squeezed. He's on our side. All right, let's. Okay, I'm super far behind on some of these chats, so let me catch up. Shout out to Swiftness, Vigilante, the Greg Hunter. I should Vigilante. Let's talk about it. We could definitely always more and more mods. Stream, put your webcam in that. Okay, I need to figure out some of those OBS issues, not playing nice with Zoom. But overall, definitely a I mean, team, no matter how you think about him, Andrew is 100% on our side. He's a smart guy. Obviously, we all have our own personalities, our own style, but when it comes down to it, Andrew Mo Money is definitely supportive of our cause, so you have to have respect for that. We are obviously all a little bit different. Me, Max, Andrew, Trey, like we all have our own style, and that's fine. You hang out with the person that you resonate with the most, but in the end, I'm supportive of him because he's supportive of us, supportive of AMC, GME squeezing, and I think he's a pretty smart guy. So I like learning from him. All right, let's do some of these super chats. Hang on. GME update 212. Remember, 212 was resistance. Now we're acting as support. So I'd like a bounce off of that. AMC, it's still flat at 14. It's actually impressive. How much volume? Look at this. 11% of today's volume has traded exactly at $14. That's even bigger than yesterday when we saw 18% at $14.40. That is crazy. All right. Paul, can we stop pretending that market fundamentals apply to GME? There's more of a cup and handle decat reference on GME than any other stock. Paul, I do agree with you right now of like when you're in the world of a short squeeze and a gamma squeeze, you can kind of really at that point, like when it gets going, throw technicals and fundamentals out the window. It's just like it's such a violent, more human psychological play than of like looking at a company's PE ratios or earnings or really even AMC theaters opening back up. If 10 theaters open up, if 10 more % open up, it's not gonna really like stop a squeeze. It's not like people in the squeeze are like, well, hang on, here's the fair market value with 10 more % theaters open up. It's just not how it works. It's all FOMO, greed, fear. It's much more of like just human emotions than like a fundamental thing or technical thing. Hi Matt, my girlfriend and I watch your show all the time. Great stuff. Love the positive vibes. She made a meme for your enjoyment on Twitter from Kara. Thank you, Joshua. I'll definitely check that out. Could you release in... Oh, hang on. Oh, sorry. I'm so far behind on these chats. Hang on. Let me scroll back. Excuse me for 1 second. Okay. Could this release in an upward direction be related to the puts being closed out? No, so buying and selling of calls and puts don't really directly impact like the movement. It's more of a tertiary bet on the stock itself. When I was a boy in Bulgaria, I was friends with a witch. Every day for Andrew's dog, it's always a chill day. Yes, I love that dog. Such a cool dog. Hey Matt, just got out of work, looked at AMC. What's going on with it? I love your channel. It's just the battle of the armies, the 5 armies at 14. And then we have more sellers at 14.05, 1410. Someone's trying their darndest to keep AMC down. And then on the other side, they're trying their darndest to keep it up. Whenever it goes a little bit up or a little bit down, it's getting pushed the other way. Moon gang. Thank you. Matt, you demand, love your channel. Just made 50K within 3 hours. Watch your channel every day. Keep up the great work. Thanks. DD, huge congrats to you. That's awesome. Ryan McKay, this is a huge super chat. How'd you come up with this amount? 7777. My options are in the money. Do I close or lit expire? Dad says if I don't do anything, I actually have till noon Monday to decide, then forces them to go into the market Monday. Really wanted DD clarification on waiting until Monday or closing. So Ryan, if the expiration today is it expires today, your dad might be referring to like more of a market maker thing of when they have time to deliver the shares in the background. But as for you, it kind of ends today if today's your expiration date. In terms of the best way to maximize your profit of should you expire or should you just sell the option, like mathematically profit wise, if you're already in the money, it's not going to be much of a difference. If you think that the stock will gap up on Monday, then it would be more beneficial for you to take the shares. But you could always just take the profit from your options today and buy more options and benefit from the gap up on Monday that way. So in the end, profit wise to you, whether you choose to exercise the contract or you just sell it, is not going to make the end of it's not going to be that big of a difference. But you should be able to get your shares next week. They're going to show up in your account on Monday, but in the back end, because of like the whole T2 rule, they might not be actually delivered, but that's also brokerage dependent. Cup and handle on GME. Yep. Multiple cup and handles, but I'm looking for like basically just to push 300. You know the technical overhead to execute all this via real time, it has to batch, which is why. Yeah, so that's what I was talking about, Matthew Kivo a little bit. Like there are many, many technical hurdles that have to like be taken care of to make trading like a real time thing. It's really done in batch processes. Why do I keep doing that? My stress ball. What kind of patterns are you seeing on the daily chart on AMC? Hardcore consolidation. On the intraday, your question was for the daily. This, I would say the closest, well, really down here, we had a nice cup and a handle, 10, 10 handle, and now we're like already on that. It could become a bigger cup and handle if we get back up to this 17 range. But right now, it's just like a nice bullish uptrend. That's mainly what we're seeing. Come on, GME, do your thing. Put on timeout because learn stuff, but it's very bad. Okay, well, it's fixed now. Matt, dude, today I think you should shut down chat for subscribe members only, man. Too many bots and Gregs on a day like this. Yeah, if I see a lot coming in here, I have no issue switching it over if the bots get bad. But right now, I feel like the mods have been doing well. So, like, let's give it a second. Everyone, like, sometimes the chat goes really fast. Sometimes it's going slow. It's okay. I'm not seeing, like, an over amount of, like, sell, sell, sell. These are crashing. Of course, there's always going to be Gregs in here. That's how you know we're onto something big, is when people are, like, going out of their way to hate. But I think it's good for right now. If it gets bad, I'll go to members only. Obviously, it'll be like just a temporary thing. I'm not one of these people who wants to make the entire channel members only. That's not my goal. Fidelity is probably the safest place to transfer Robinhood shares. They actually have disclosed long positions in GME. They just bought a lot, actually. I'm enjoying this. Chill, Greg. Is this a mindfulness podcast, Chris? QT says I need to execute by 2 hours before close. I don't know what like each brokerage has their own different set of rules for closing and expiring. Short Bus Trader, thank you. Hi, this is Matt Splatter. He needs to use the bathroom. Love the duck shirts. Any thoughts on Clovis? I mean, it's running. I wouldn't chase the new high, but it's nice movement. Thank you, Dan Smith. I'm buying bananas in a bunch for 6 at 210. Where can I buy CRLBF? I see it as potential for with this stock, but I can't buy in Webull, Robinhood. Yeah, probably because it's on the OTC market and they don't have exposure to that. So you'll need something like, well, I don't know where you are, but like something like Interactive Brokers, TD Ameritrade, anything like that. Wife's boyfriend just came home. He likes looking at chairs. I don't say no to him. Can you assist me? Check out Jordan Bellafort's recent Twitter post. All right, let's check this out. Like, as in today? I mean, I saw the one last night. I retweeted it. Wait, hang on. That's not him. What's his thing, Jordan? What is this guy doing? All right. Surprise, surprise. AMC still at 14. GME at 212. Tesla moving against me. Coming up. Testing this trend line. The wall on AMC has moved down to 402 and 405. They keep moving the wall around. Like, they're actively changing it. It's interesting that that's like their methodology. President Coors. Thank you, HS. For anyone with call options expiring today, roll money into out of the money calls for longer dates. Yeah, I mean, if it's expiring today and you're up money, it's like more risky though. Well, if you're already in the money, I don't know. There's not like if you play it, it's like a little bit of a bet of just how the stock will play out for the remainder of the day. There's not really like a perfect way to play it right now. Apes Together Stronger. I love you, Trey, Andrew, and Max. You all bring unique perspective and awesome. Y'all link the 4 Hodelman of the stock apocalypse. Keep up the good vibes. Ape not hurt. Ape, very, very true. We're all on the same side. We all want the same thing to happen. Apes Together, you think market manipulation going on? No, nothing like that screams manipulation to me at this moment. Upgraded a membership, Dane, from astronaut to space ape, shout out. Moving up in the rocket ship. How about I dumped all my Clovis yesterday? Wouldn't even know until you said something. Sorry, Jeffrey. Hey, Matt. Been blood for the blood god. Subscribed or ban on all bots. We're gonna chop a couple more heads. Don't worry. Oh, hang on. We have a call out. Mods, get rid of bot Greg Blood. Where is this person? I'll find him. Are they talking? They don't talk that much. Elix Gray, I just read your super chat. I'm looking for Greg Blood. Where is it? Where is it? Where is this Greg? Playing a little game of cat and mouse with us. Where is it? I don't see this Greg Blood character. Don't worry. When said troll pops his head up, we'll find him. They can hide, but not for long. Eagle Patriot P20. Love the name. Thank you for becoming an astronaut of the channel. Let's go, let's go. We're going to the moon. What else do we have going on? Run, Greg, run. We're going to find him. Someone says Adam equals Greg. And then Adam's like, no, I'm not. Like, quickly, please don't. Please don't, man. All right, GME at 212. Look at this. They try to push it down, people buying it right back up. As in nature, a healthy population of Gregs translates into a good ecosystem as the predator needs something to eat. Yeah, we don't want to get rid of all of the Gregs. I like all the accusatory, just like, I am a Greg. No, you're a Greg. Hey, what if my option/calls expire today and I can't sell them? They are at 1 cent right now. They are out of the money. So you just, if you're out of the money and they expire, it's just, you just lose the premium. Nothing happens with shares or anything like that. If you're out of the money and they're going to zero, it's like just no big deal. Let's check on what time is. Okay. You can't block me. Cosmic Avocado, I would love to talk to you this weekend. Let's get some of these like Greg and Guillotine things going. I'm a Greg. James, no, you're not. Some people are offering to sacrifice themselves just to push these stocks higher. I love it. Okay, so here is the quick plan. It is 1:30 Eastern. I'm gonna take a quick 5-10 minute break. I am going nowhere. Hang out, just like accuse each other of being Gregs in chat. Do whatever you guys do when I'm not here. Hang out with Chair. He has his duck shirt on. I'll come back. It's gonna be a duck shirt afternoon. Lots of volatility. I need some tendies in my system to be fresh. GameStop's going to squeeze while I'm gone. AMC's going to squeeze while I'm gone. Hopefully Tesla tanks while I'm gone. But I'll just give me 5-10 minutes. I'll be right back. I just need some coffee. I need some tendies in my system. Have fun accusing each other of being Gregs. Hang out with Chair. I will be back 5-10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. I'm not stopping the stream.